Okay, and we are live.
hmm And now we can sit here and stare at each other.
And Robert, hey,
Yeah,
sorry.
we wait in, and then this happens.
Yes, we
Allow,
allow.
because we're having all kinds of issues. There's something else that needs to be done, or else we're not going to get anywhere.
Okay,
And that is to shut that down,
okay.
because the stupid cloud.
And you can't turn that
You
off.
can't turn it off. You can't get rid of it. Don't
Oh,
know
we
if
got
anyone's
two.
in there
Yeah, we
yet.
got
Hold on.
four
Let me
people.
open it up. Oh, I see
Hey,
John is there, and
John.
Kane Union is
Hey,
here
Kim
thus
Union.
far, or has chosen to chime in thus far. There's other
Mm-hmm.
people that may be in there, but we can't tell yet.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Decided to take a crack at, because sometimes we get stuff in the mail,
Mm-hmm.
and we do film unboxings.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the unboxing live this
Yeah.
time.
Plus, we want to do more live streams.
Sure.
We enjoy it and everything, and people seem to like the live streams. So, say, hey, knock out two birds at one
Yeah,
stone.
talk to the community and talk to the people who watch the videos, and
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
share with them.
wait
Oh,
and let a few more people come in,
yeah,
and
Fabio is
then
here.
we'll get started. So
Yes, and then we'll get started.
yeah, I hope you
Yeah.
had a very uneventful week. That not a lot of bad things happened.
Or
Just
if it was
kind of
eventful, that it was
good
good
events,
eventful.
not um, awful events,
Yes.
or a very boring week.
hmm
Sometimes boring weeks
Boring can
are,
be good.
yeah, because that means
If there's bad
tragedy
things,
didn't
yeah.
happen.
If there's bad things, boring can be good.
Out
There's
of sight.
and Raccoon
Yeah,
joining us
yeah, I
this
said hey
this
to
evening.
raccoon.
Well, it's evening where we are.
Yeah,
7
7 o'clock
p.m.
in the
Eastern Standard
standard time.
Time. Just Eastern Standard Time. And that's just Jeff. Not any Jeff. Just Jeff.
Yeah,
Just Jeff.
just Jeff.
That's all. That's all you get.
Hmm.
that's,
It's Jeff.
that's okay. As we get ready to kick off, and we could have had,
Hmm.
might have had
Hmm.
an additional package, because Edwin sent a
Edwin.
package to us, but he had sent me an email, said he was sending a package, and then um, was asking about it, because because it didn't arrive,
Hmm.
because the thing said it was supposed to be here Thursday. No, nothing's come. Nothing has arrived. Munin says, "Have you heard Hasbro starting lineups that were once 50 are now at Ollie's for $8.99? Doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh,
That stuff wasn't going to sell. The original starting lineups don't sell.
yeah.
There's a handful. So somebody got mad at me when I did that video. Everybody, so there's always somebody who's going to get mad, guys. They got upset. Some of the certain starting lineup are, a handful from the first and the last wave. The other 15 or so years that they made those figures are in dollar bins at every show. There is a handful. Okay. Oh, T. Stewart.
In the house.
And but still, the I was like, you're bringing them back. Plus, they're not really starting lineup figures. It's not really Kenner.
Hmm.
They're not figurines, because that's what those were. With,
Hmm.
like, maybe the waist would turn or something. They are Legends figures. You could have
Hmm.
called them anything else but starting lineup, and people probably would have understood that and been like, "Oh, okay." No, we had to try to cash in on the washed up legacy of starting lineup figures. Just Jeff says the two starting lineup figures that are worth something out of the 300. Yeah, and there might be more than that. They even made starting lineup did a crossover right when Hasbro took over Kenner,
Hmm.
because Kenner ran as Kenner for a little while. The G.I. Joe Hall of Fame figures. Oh, Axel's there. Made 12-inch so-called starting lineup figures, and they did the Cooperstown collection and stuff like that. And even those, I think, don't sell.
Mm.
And if I'm done bashing on that, Raccoon says back in 98, 99, they worked at a toy store and saw two grown men fighting over Joe Montana's starting lineup.
Wow.
Now they probably can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Buy my lineup for 50. You remember that one time it was at one of those bookstores? It was in Illinois, and they had the whole table full of them
For
up
like
front.
$1.
Yeah, they said final clearance $1 each, and there must have been 50 of them in there.
Yeah, and then in
Mhm.
Illinois, we went to a toy show, and it was bring in a action figure, and you would get in free.
Yes,
It was full of starting lineups.
starting lineup and 90s Star Wars figures.
figures.
Mhm.
Those two were the most in the box.
Those are the ones that nobody wanted. It's like, here, take it, please. I don't know what they were gonna do. And
Yeah.
then, Stuart says Montana, Jordan, and Magic are big sellers. Yeah, and they're probably from the first run.
Yeah.
And then Munin, Hasbro just can't catch a break. They lost their shirt with this one with all the licensing fees with that toy line.
Ooh,
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
the likeness, the NBA, Wilt, the basketball, Nike, whatever's attached to it. They gotta spread it up.
Whoa, 2
Johnny's
weeks
here.
in Las Vegas. You better have a lot of money.
and wear your mask because it stinks.
Yeah, I went to Las Vegas once, and you
Yes.
know, it's walking up and down the strip,
boulevard.
the main drag there, and whoa, the smell was just awful.
It's weird.
Yeah, but they do have that Marvel Studio, like museum or
Yes.
whatever. That was pretty cool. I did some filming in there. That's when we were like just
Mhm.
getting the channel off the ground. So that was some years ago.
Yes.
But that was pretty cool. Yeah.
And
that?
he says the power of the Force stick is just those 90s era figures
Hey,
are still
David.
cheap from Star Wars. David McNichol is there. So this I already opened,
Okay.
but I will show it to you. Oh, Elite Action Joe is there. What does he say?
Let's see. I collected them and still have about 1,000 figures. Most are worthless, but no sense throwing them away.
Yeah, if you like them, you like them, and that's what it
Mhm.
is.
I miss Star Trek
The
experience.
experience. Okay.
Transformer convention tomorrow in
California.
California. Finally getting
Okay.
Walker's
Welker.
or Welker autograph.
And out of sight, did you order the Mezco Ninja Turtle set? No, I haven't ordered anything from Mezco. The very last thing that I got was Death Dealer, and I'm off the Mezco bandwagon.
Phantom Menace toys will probably be cheap forever.
Yeah. The Phantom Menace. Are you scared?
And yeah, we'll have to
look
look
for
it up.
that.
It's
Johnny.
at the end of the strip.
If it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like on the far end. I don't know if it was north, south, or what, but I know it was like at the end of the strip. And but yeah, it's a big old Marvel museum. I don't even know if it was a museum, but it just had a lot of stuff in it,
Mhm.
figures. They had a TV going, but that was pre-Disney, I think.
Yeah.
Because I was there in like 2019, 2018.
And another tip there, Johnny. Don't a lot of people like to go to the Pawn Stars pawn shop. Don't go. Don't go there. The one that you see on the TV is a studio reproduction
Hey, Phil.
of the pawn shop. It's not the pawn shop. The real one is a trashed out dump of a store in probably one of the worst neighborhoods in Las Vegas.
Really?
So don't go there. Everybody who goes there is upset.
Oh,
Seriously.
wow.
But Hot Toys figure,
wow.
Biker Scout.
Okay.
Did you get it with I don't even know what they call that thing that they ride on. I forget.
Hey, Robert.
Yep, Robert's here.
Okay.
Now this I had already opened, and this is something that you don't see every day. And that is the Land of Grundo map with the Grubby and who is that? Tweeg figure.
So they got a bunch of Teddy Ruxpin stuff.
And this is 1985
Mhm.
Worlds of Wonder, or 1986 Worlds of Wonder. And this is the play area map for the play set. because Worlds of Wonder made action figures for Teddy Ruxpin
Mm-hmm.
based on the cartoon show that was on the air in 1986 and 1987. And this is the Grundle play area map. It's a vinyl, just a vinyl map, comes with 2 figures.
Mm.
Grundy has like a million points of articulation, and he has like one. His head turns, and I think that's about it. Or you can twist his wrist. I mean, who cares about that? But the show was actually really funny, as I remember. I used to watch it with my sister, and that's why I was interested in this. And they made, like I said, a series of figures based on the show. And I had already opened this because I wanted to examine it.
Mm.
And the figures, even this, is not expensive. Nobody's looking for these. They don't even know they exist.
Mm-hmm.
And the action figures, and there's a lineup of the action figures on the back.
It's a lot of figures in
Yeah,
that set.
it was about a dozen. And then this one has, is it this one? No, it's this one right here. There are variants. I think it comes in 3 different colors. But you could pick these up cheap. Some of these figures, like the Professor, nobody likes the Professor. He's probably worth like $10 mint on the card. But the this right here is the grail of the set, the balloon, because it does inflate, and it's like this. In the show, they travel around in this flying ship, and that thing can get expensive. The rest of it is dirt cheap. But yeah, I had already opened that up, and this is something that most people probably have never seen. And just the nostalgia of it, because I used to watch it with my sister when she was growing up.
David, no, we've never been there. I didn't realize it. I never put it together, but the retro toy show that comes up once a year is sponsored by Toy Federation. But then I never put it together, and they're in the same area. And we said that the next time we go to the retro toy show, that we would go by there because it's in the same town, Greenville.
Yeah.
And we didn't go last year in 2023 because we had a lot of, that's when everything went down with our family, so we didn't even go.
Yeah.
But hopefully things will be good this year. And then they have that South Carolina Comic Con that's in Greenville coming up in, I think, April. We might try to stop by, but I've seen their YouTube videos. But no, we've never been there.
Yeah.
The speeder bike.
Yeah, I
he
couldn't
didn't
think
get
of
the
it.
speeder bike.
Yeah. John
And
William is here.
That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
William Randall is here. Hey, William, how are you? From what I hear, all the actual pawn shop tries to sell is the merchandise from the show.
I have no idea what they try to sell.
Mm.
I knew a guy I talked to a guy, and I didn't know him that well. He was a walk-on part actor. He does commercials and crap like that, and he works around that area. And he says that he watched that show, and all of the shoppers in that, all the shoppers that you see on the show, they're all walk-on part actors. They're not even real customers. So the show's completely phony. Next box.
Okay.
Next box here.
Okay.
And
okay.
This is cool. This is cool. Hold on a second. And this is
it's a Smurf. Is that a bank?
Yeah.
It got money in it.
Still has the coins in it.
How you gonna sell it with the money in it?
It's an AJ Renzi bank. And AJ Renzi made a lot of banks. Grab that King Kong. AJ Renzi also made this. They made a lot of blow mold stuff, not just banks, little ride-on bikes, hobby horses, anything blow mold, like in the 70s and 80s. And that one's never been used. And this one has never been used either, because that's what this circle is for. You're supposed to cut this out to get the coins out, which is why
the coins are
I still have some money in there. I'm trying to see how much is in there. I can't tell. How much am I worth? It looks like a dime and like 7 pennies. So I'm worth 17 cents. And this one still has good paint, still has the sticker on it. It says Smurf Bank. You might better recognize AJ Renzi is also famous for having made that Spider-Man, Hulk, and Thing bust bank that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people you might have seen. And they did these as well. And I just really fabulous prize or price on this one.
Mm.
Also, a lot of times when people don't cut this out,
Mm-hmm.
they make the hole here bigger
Bigger to get the
to
money
get the
out.
money out to pour it out
Mm.
from this end. So this has never been tampered with, and it's rare to find them like this. And they don't sell for a whole heck of a lot,
Hey,
but
George.
I like it. Hey, George. And David says he likes the piggy banks.
They're big.
Yeah, the big ones. Yeah, the oversized ones.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Renzi also, and this is where you start getting into the big money. Made Halloween buckets and of all sorts of things, skulls and whatever. But they made them in a multitude of different colors, so you can go down a big rabbit hole
Mm-hmm.
of different color buckets, like the skull, and they'll have a skull and it'll be white and black and purple and orange and pink and green, and then they will also cast them in different colors but then paint them different too.
Okay.
So you'll have a black skull with purple eyes, a black skull with green eyes, and so on. But yeah, I love this kind of stuff. Fan of the Smurfs. I get a kick out of the banks. AJ Renzi banks.
Mm-hmm.
Again, most of them don't cost too much. You can still find them. Always try to look out for ones that have not been tampered with. And like I said, most of the time people are familiar with either the Spider-Man or Hulk or Thing bust banks that they made, which they also repurposed into Halloween buckets.
Oh,
When they
okay.
had too many of them, Halloween came around, they sliced the tops off of them and put a strap.
Mm.
And now you got a Spider-Man Halloween bucket, so on and so forth. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I just think that's cool, really nostalgic. Remember when kids used to save money in a bank? Do they do
Yeah.
that anymore? Do they even
Probably
care about
not.
coins?
Do they even make piggy banks
I
anymore?
don't
I don't
know.
know the last time I've seen. Well, they make them for the babies
You
because
can buy them at Target's got them, and they're like it's a pig, but one has a baseball cap and stuff, and a ceramic
yeah,
bank. Yeah, yeah.
I bought one some years ago for this lady for
Hmm.
her baby shower, and it was a big bottle, and then
Oh,
but it
looking
was
at these.
a bank.
George is looking at the Joes back there.
Yeah.
Some of my carded Joes.
Yeah, he got a big GI Joe collection. I remember the McDonald's Halloween buckets. We
Yeah,
saw a
those are
few in
popular.
Goodwill. It
Hmm.
was
They
remakes,
were the
so
modern ones. I don't
yeah,
want those.
the
Oh,
Droopy Dog Bank.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Gaylord from My Toys.
Mm-hmm.
My Toy
With the teardrop.
1971. Those come in different colors too, and the colored ones are really tough to find. Yeah, I mean, I'll get around to it, David. Finding a place to put it. Oh, Sean made it today.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
And Robert says was watching DuckTales reboot actually good and fun. Kind of tempted on the DuckTales figures. Will you sing the theme song? Nope. No,
I wanted
I
those duck.
refuse.
I wanted those Ducktail action figures. You can go ahead
Mhm.
and open them right
Yeah,
now.
I'll get started on
I
this one.
still have my vinyl Ewok bank.
There you go.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't sell it though. I wrote "I love Sting" on the bottom.
Oh well, that's okay.
Your bank.
That gives it some history.
I used
Yeah.
to save money in a small ceramic bank. Now we got that 5 gallon bucket we put the money in.
Yeah. Well, not a bucket. It's that the water bottle, big
Yeah,
like
the 5 gallon
bubbler.
water jug
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
put on the machine thing.
Now
Hey,
this, hey, Mister, this is a trade,
a
and
trade.
this comes from Lou from My Migo Like on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He has a channel on YouTube, and did they make GI Joe banks? I want to say yes,
Mm,
off the top of my head. I want to say yes. I'm thinking it's more like a figurine, a figural bank, if you know what I'm saying, with
yeah.
a base on it. That sounds familiar.
And then once you start looking it up, a whole plethora of stuff is gonna
Yeah, it's a
just
big can of
open up.
worms.
Yeah.
It'll open up a whole new world of stuff, and you'll see things that you didn't know you needed. But anyways,
Go ahead.
it was Lou from My Migo Like, and he also has a Facebook group, Migo Like, which I think he's more active in Migo Like than there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a trade with him, and this is what I got. Oh,
Okay.
and there's a note in here.
Oh, we got to put it on the wall.
It says, "Look out, it's Daredevil," and he drew a little
Daredevil.
figure on there. Okay, Lou. Let's see.
Do the best
It
around.
is an action figure. Yeah. And that is,
No,
oh, it's
Evil
got a crack
Knievel.
on the top. I didn't realize that, but that's all right. No, it's a knockoff of Evil Knievel
Oh,
made by Durham Toys in
oh,
the early
yeah.
70s.
You got a bunch of those
Yeah, I got
Durham
a bunch
toys.
of the Durham toys up there. I got some Durham action figures. They are some of the cheesiest, worst. Like, you can see how badly constructed that action figure is. It's absolutely horrible. But the artwork on the cards is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, look at that artwork. Look at that guy on the bike. Look at this. And it's like, but I don't understand. They all have this arm function where you press a button on his back and they swing their arm. They all have something they do with their arm like that. So is he so fast that he's going to get off his bike and wave the checker flag for himself to come in first? How does that work? It's like the cheesiest thing you can imagine, but you know, I get a kick out of this figure series. This is the kind of thing you would see in your five and dime. This would be hanging in Woolworths for like 66 cents, something like that. I think the price tag, this is a Grant's department store price tag, and it says $1.09. It's hard to make it out because it's so faded.
Yeah, it does remind you of Speed Racer a little bit.
Go Speed Racer. But they made some original pieces, some bootleg and knockoff pieces. Durham was known for that sort of thing, and they were known for terrible, crappy action figures.
They didn't make vehicles because this person, David's asking if it had a bike.
I don't. I think they might have some ride-on stuff for their Disney characters because they actually had licenses and they did Disney character figures.
Yeah, John, like they did make Kung Fu. David has that Kung Fu figure.
Young Kung Fu Chop.
Yeah, of young Kwai Chan.
Yeah, that's an actual bootleg, and people confuse the terminology. And knockoff is when you copy something that's already been done. So this is a knockoff of Ideal's Evil Knievel. Young Kung Fu Chop is a bootleg because it was never done. And that, as I understand it, caused them a little bit of trouble back in the day. Now, here we go. There's an envelope.
Oh boy!
What's in the envelope?
Oh, it's a comic book.
Comic books are inside, and
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man drug cover
drug
comics.
Cover.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Drug cover, and that is a McFarlane cover, and nobody knows he did this one because this is a Canadian comic book. It was only done in Canada, drug cover, and you see there's all syringes and stuff like this, and there's a beer can hanging up here, and so Spider-Man's rescuing the kids from their vices. And then number 2 here, I think this one is like auto accidents or something. Oh no, it's number 3 is the auto accidents. All of these have some theme about saving children from danger. There's the third one here. This is the one about bike safety, and you see this guy apparently is determined to murder this child.
Oh wow!
And then here, you see him running the kid down. And then there's Spider-Man and Ghost Rider. I'd rather have Ghost Rider save me than Spider-Man, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh wow!
You know how you know this is Canadian? Because the kid's wearing an Oilers hockey shirt. And this is Jim Craig did the art on this one, and I can't see who did this one on the Double Trouble. There's one more. There's only 4 in this PSA series.
Make sure you hit that like button. Hey, Stone Sour. Thank you, Stone Sour.
Thank you, Stone Sour.
Really appreciate it.
There's only 4 comics in this series.
Oh, wow.
There's only 4, and that means that you only have one more to find.
Yay! This is for me.
That is for you.
You know, I love this type of stuff.
Yeah, she's not a huge Spider-Man fan,
No.
although the comic is better than the movies to her.
Yeah.
But she is a fan
We
of
talked about that last week.
that kind of PSA stuff or
Mhm.
any drug-related or alcohol-related covers and
Oh,
things
I
like
was
that.
gonna get the I guess John never saw your Kung Fu.
Oh, Kung Fu John, sure. And Raccoon says Wayne Gretzky's jersey must be the 90s. Yes, that's correct. That would be a 90s. And Stone Sour made a donation. Yeah, this is young Kung Fu Chop. And of course, he's wearing a bathrobe and nothing else. He's like, you can see his flesh tone under there. So he's going commando under this robe. And that's supposed to be young Kwai Chan Kane. And of course, you press the button and it does a karate chop there. And again, look at how excellent that card art is. And then look at how crappy the figure is.
Yeah.
The figure looks like absolute garbage. And I can show you a couple more if you want to look at a couple more of these, if anyone is curious about it. And thank you for the donation to the channel, Stone Sour. Very much appreciate it. This one is the Bluebeard the Pirate. Again, great art, terrible figure. You see one hand is a parrot and the other hand is a hook. I don't know how he wipes. But, and this is an extremely rare one. This one will pull good money. This is Prairie Scout. And there's an Indian too. I don't have the Indian, but that's the Prairie Scout. And this was also sold in a box, as well as because it's one of 3 cowboys in a box, and he barely fits in here because they didn't retool the figure. They just kind of jammed him in there diagonally. Yeah, that's how they do.
Oh my gosh.
Cycle Cop. And again, look at the artwork. The artwork's phenomenal. That's really well done. And then the figure is like, yeah, thanks, Grandma, for thinking of me on my birthday on your way here, spur of the moment. And my favorite one, and this one has a Grant's department store tag on it too. This one says like $1.04, is the Fireman. Again, really excellent art. But now you have, they couldn't even be bothered to paint him all the way. So he's wearing like assless chaps. His legs are painted, not the rest of his body. And he's got an axe. So you got a flasher wielding an axe with a gigantic head. His head is huge. He looks like a lollipop. But that's...
Oh my god.
Oh no.
You're awful.
Yep. And David says leg articulation on the pirate looks weird. Yeah, the legs are like really short on the pirate. It's crazy. And Munin says pirate figure looks like Patchy from SpongeBob. And Gnomsky is like, look how big his head is. Yeah, I know. His head is ginormous. But yeah, surprise.
Yay!
Surprise.
That was a surprise.
Oh.
Thanks. We just saw that on the
Oh,
video the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, didn't we see that on the video? No, you showed it to me on eBay.
Oh, it was like yeah, some weeks ago.
Yeah.
There we go. Ashy Slashy. Ashy Slashy. Who knows who Ashy Slashy is?
No one.
So I bet you half the people in here.
I assume most kids wanted Fisher Price figures over Durham.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's one of those thoughtless gifts you get from Grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you wanted Evel Knievel, but you get the Daredevil biker guy instead. And it's like, Mom, this isn't Evel Knievel. But look, it looks just like Evel Knievel. that's,
Hey, Lee.
Hey, Lee Bamford is here.
We're unboxing some stuff. We unboxed some comics and a trade David got,
Yes.
and a Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin, my Land of Grundo map with 2 free figures. It's not free if I gotta buy something. Just saying.
Terry wants to know what you're using to receive donations.
Oh, there's on the bottom right of the chat. There's a little icon. I think it's shaped like a $sign. Am I wrong?
But Terry's on Facebook.
Oh, Terry's on Facebook. Well,
so you got to do PayPal.
Can't do it on
Facebook.
Have to be on the YouTube.
Who made the detail? I know the figures you're talking about, Robert.
Yeah,
but I don't know who make it. I don't know if it was Mattel or Hasbro or something like that.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
See here, I can throw up a thingy. because I do have a link to something else that I use for the cats. It's the truth. I got a link to that I use for the cats.
Mm-hmm.
We take donations for the for our cats
Mm-hmm.
because we're currently taking care of 14.
Oh God.
Yeah, we are
It's a
taking
lot of
care of
damn
14 cats right now, and it that's it. That's the link for that. Because the shelter pets that we take care of and we work on rehoming and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, this and that, and rig and row. And then Moondust says a flasher with an axe could make a great movie. Yeah, I know it. And then Terry Lee, are you restreaming this then? This will be saved. I mean, you can go
Yeah.
back and watch it again.
On YouTube.
Yeah, on
and
the
on
YouTube
and
channel.
on Facebook, it'll be there.
Yeah, it should be saved on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Robert says Ashy Slashy is from the Evil Dead.
Oh, is it?
We'll open this up.
I don't think I saw Evil Dead.
No, it's fun.
I love the way David collects, not like those collectors running around pretending to be experts on vintage toys.
I know what I know. I don't know if I'm an expert, but I know I do. I do try to know a lot about whatever it is I'm working with.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's that last piece you needed?
That's the last piece. Somebody
Oh,
just mentioned Fisher Price
wow.
too.
Yeah.
1979, Fisher Price Muppets stick puppets. And this is about as close as you're going to get to vintage Muppets action figures. Released in 1979. And this is the display box, the deluxe box that looks like a stage with 4 of the primary characters in it. You see, and the articulation is everywhere because Miss Piggy, of course, is like no articulation. And then these 3 guys only have 1 point of articulation because they can sit down. Then you have also, because these 4 are also available carded, and there are 3 other figures that are carded. You got Gonzo and Scooter. And Gonzo and Scooter have 5 points of articulation. And then you have Animal, who's a bendy figure. But again, this is not a series that costs a fortune, but it is difficult to find a package that's in halfway decent condition. Usually they're just smashed to bits, and the carded figures, typically the carded figures, the cards are in really bad shape. So now this is the last piece that I needed to complete that set. So I'm excited about that. And now I can do a showcase video on the entire line since I have every piece now. I've done showcase videos without having everything, but I think it's better if you've got all of it, you know, so you can kind of talk about the history of it. And there is a huge Easter egg in this series.
And
what? No, I'm not going to.
Oh, you're going to talk about it?
It's a secret.
You got to watch the video.
Yes, I don't think anyone's ever figured it out because when I figured it out, I was looking at the action figure set. I was like, wait a minute, I noticed something peculiar about this figure series, and I tried to look it up online. I can't find anything, so I wonder if anyone ever figured it out. That happens. I think that happened with a Mario Brothers game. The original Super Marios that came with the Nintendo NES, and somebody figured something out like 2 years ago. It was in the news, and they were like, why the hell didn't anybody notice this before? Yeah, no kidding. Well, yeah, big fan of the original Muppet Show. And remember, the original Muppet Show was for the adult audience. It wasn't really for kids. And you can catch a lot of that if you watch it as an adult. Kids watched it, but a lot of the adult innuendos went over their heads. The Sesame Street was for children. Not this, but you know, obviously it was marketed to kids anyways because money.
There
you go. No barcode on this either because it's, you know, before the 80s.
The way we do that, Terry, is we use a streaming service where you can stream the multiple platforms at one time.
Yeah.
And that's how you do that. So we use the platform Restream, and then you can post live to like YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all those different channels, Facebook,
Yeah,
all those different platforms all at once. So that's how that happens. And that looks great.
David looks great.
Hmm.
Yeah, they love the
Nice.
Muppets.
Yeah, we when we were working at the daycare center, we watched a lot of the Muppets because what?
Oh, I just wanted to read that one, but go ahead.
Okay.
It's, by the way, when she says the daycare center, she's talking about the mental health clinic where we worked
Yeah.
because they were residents.
Yeah, they love the Muppets, and I didn't realize how funny the Muppets were until
Yeah,
we was watching it.
and
Um,
such a shame they never made any more. I think Diamond Select uh, made a set of made some Muppets a couple of years ago.
hey
And
Mick.
Mick is here. Thanks for joining us
Hmm.
today. And yeah, Super Seven is doing it as reaction figures.
Reactions. Sometimes
Yeah,
when they do reactions, they eventually get around to the Ultimates.
true. That is
Yeah,
true.
I remember the Muppet Babies cartoon, but I didn't really care for it. That's from the
And
Muppet
the other
Babies.
thing that I had unboxed that people didn't see, of course,
Oh
was
yeah, the
the
Smurf thing.
AJ Renzi Smurf Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Still has his sticker, still uncut. And I see if I can, maybe I can get some tweezers and get them
Why don't you
coins
just
out
cut
of
a hole in the bottom?
No, no.
Mick wants to know if you have the police woman
I
doll.
do not have policewoman.
Do you know who the manufacturer is?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I don't remember who made that.
Mm.
Because they had some weird stuff. They did the policewoman. Kojak had action figures. They're
Not
pretty tough.
Columbo.
No, Columbo. Columbo only had, I think it was a corgi
Mm-hmm.
car with a little figurine.
Mm. Jada made. I think it was Jada made his car.
Was it Jada?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
I
thought
saw.
I'm thinking in terms of vintage.
Oh,
Uh huh.
thank you.
No problems. We catch up some of the
Yeah,
comments
I'm trying to catch
and
up.
then we'll move on
The
here.
big wheels. What happened to those? They died out.
Yeah, it died out. Yeah, still holds up.
I don't know if the Muppet Show is on Blu-ray, but I mean you
It's
can
on
always check.
DVD, but they
Yeah.
only produced the first 3 seasons of it and
Oh,
stopped. I
oh,
don't
they
think.
had Muppet Legos.
Yeah, they didn't go past, I believe, 3 seasons because they just couldn't afford to, because all the guest stars, everybody who appeared on the show wanted a piece of the pie. And that gets expensive. It's the same problem that Miami Vice ran into before they finally got, because of all the music.
Uh-huh.
WKRP had that problem. The original Adam West Batman had that problem because there's tons of guest appearances on there of famous people, and their families want a piece of that because they own the likeness. So there you go.
Send a message to David's
Oh,
Facebook instant messenger or his
okay, yeah.
email.
Follow me up on that, Terry Lee.
Yeah, either on, because you're on Facebook, so obviously you got his Facebook channel.
Yeah.
Just send him a direct message, and then y'all can coordinate.
Yes. And then Robert says, I only have one left because
What,
many
that
of you
Evil
know.
Knievel stuff? I
Yeah.
thought you had a couple of pieces.
No,
I thought you had something in a box.
no. I only have one thing left from way back in the day when I had all of
Wow.
it. I had all of it, but as many of you know, I had a big collection stolen many years ago,
Yeah.
and this is the last survivor, if you will, from Evil Knievel Ideal, and of course it's a bendy action figure. Nice clean card and blister.
Yeah.
And unpunched and everything. It's a really nice example. All my stuff was, and this stuff. I mean, when I got this stuff, I mean, you couldn't get $20 for these. And now they're a fortune.
Yeah, Johnny. New laptops and new computers, they don't even have a slot for the discs, the CDs anymore.
Yeah.
And then something I noticed, because I have a laptop at work, and I had to borrow someone's speakers, and it had the speakers with the with the jack where you plug the jack in, but the computer didn't have the jack. You could only use a USB speaker, and then your
Yeah.
phone doesn't even have that jack anymore.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
that for the
for the earphones.
earpiece. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
used to like that. I put the wire and it had the little speaker, and you plug it into your phone.
yeah. Now it's only Bluetooth.
Yeah,
You can't even plug it in anymore. But I mean, it would always mess up anyway after a while and start getting fuzzy. But still,
yeah.
oh, on DVD. Oh, okay, a while back. Do you ever take some of the collectibles in the museum and do a show and tell at work? No, people at work don't even know we do this type of stuff.
No, this
You
stays
know,
right here.
yeah, it stays in the house. Okay, let's. I'm gonna stop right here, and David's gonna open up the
Oh,
next.
Horseman, of course. Horseman doll. Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't remember.
Hey, the greatest emperor,
Yeah,
extra
Shao
small.
Kahn.
Shao
Shao
Kahn,
Kahn.
the greatest emperor.
Big box.
Big. It says extra small.
It says extra small, but this is a large box.
Okay.
For Home Depot, this is extra small.
Robert got the reaction G.I. Joe. He likes them.
Okay.
Just the main characters, everyone trashing them, but I still dig them. I like it because it's the size of the original and it's really
Yeah.
good card art.
It's like if Kenner made them instead of Hasbro.
Yeah, it's really nice card art.
Yeah, the card art is good, and I'll give them that for the most part with reaction figures, as far as card art is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it when they do a photo card instead.
Yeah,
That bothers me. But if it's art, I think they usually do a pretty decent job. Oh, this is full of packing foam.
Do you collect
So
old advertising? Elite Joe have the Mark's Big Wheel poster.
Oh, okay.
Big Wheel. His cousin was a little girl in it. No, David doesn't have any advertising.
Well,
nothing.
I mean, unless you count this kind of stuff, like the product people and the Pillsbury and stuff like that you see down here, the Captain Crunch banks and things.
Mm-hmm.
And speak of the devil,
mm-hmm.
That's what's in here.
A bank?
Well, no. Advertising.
Yes, Robert, we do rearrange, and actually I'm thinking about rearranging my side here pretty soon. I want to do some more stuff, but I'm trying to decide what I want to put in its place. But yeah, we do go around and we rearrange. We'll take down something that's been up for a while and put something else in its place because we got like a lot of stuff. So we swap it out. So something will be up for several months. Then we'll take that down and put something else up in its place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something.
Oh, you still got to unwrap.
Yeah, I've still got a ton of bubble wrap.
Okay. I had a friend once that stole from me. I threatened to call the cops on him and he returned my stuff. He stole a lot more than what I thought he had. He went through my totes and put them back.
Oh no.
Thank God.
Wow.
What did he steal? Robert wants to know. I want to know what he stole too. Oh. Am I the only one who doesn't let anyone near there? No. You ain't the only one.
No, it takes a lot to get down here.
I know. You ain't just coming by and be like, hey, I saw you on YouTube. Can I come in?
I've had people ask me that too on on Facebook. Hey, would it be okay if I came by? Who the hell are you? Who are you? I don't know who you are. You're not just coming over here.
I mean, we do have people over, but we know we've seen them in person. We sat down, we talked, and exchanged some food or something.
I don't know.
For a while before you just hop in.
It's a lot of tape. I got to be careful.
Yeah, you don't want to cut something up. I'm afraid of kids. I can see damage or broken stuff, especially near hot toys.
Yeah, because they don't have any respect for anything, so they'll like pick stuff up and move it around, and the next thing you know, you're filing an insurance claim.
David, I have one vintage cereal.
Okay.
And I have thought about collecting cereal boxes. you know.
Yeah.
Um, but right now I only have one, and that's the Batman. And I do want more, but boy, those prices of them, they're kind of up there.
Yes.
Yeah, looking through them when you go through on eBay, and then once you start looking, you remember like, wow, I forgot this was around. Okay, I'll come back to you in a minute, K Munin. We're gonna look at what David
Yeah.
has, and then
I
we'll
got
come
two
back to.
pieces. I got to
Oh,
open
okay,
them both, but this is all
okay,
right. I can show the first one.
okay.
And this goes with the Pillsbury
That's the
playthings.
big one.
This one,
Love me, hug me.
yeah, because this one is a plush
Oh, okay.
in the box, and you can see the other ones on the wall back here. The Pillsbury playthings, vinyl figures from like 1974.
Where you gonna put that in?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. They made 3 plush, okay, and I've got 2 of them here. This obviously is the Pillsbury. It says durable press hat and scarf securely attached, non-removable hat button,
Mm.
securely fashioned eyes. They're letting you know that your kid basically can't tear it apart. And it says machine washable and soft, safe, and durable. It's Mr. Poppin' Fresh. Mr. Poppin' Fresh. Because I have almost everything. Almost everything.
Almost.
We're getting there. I'm down to a couple of pieces now after these 2.
But isn't the one you really need like $2,000?
Jesus, yeah, don't get me going.
You ain't getting that one unless you win the lottery.
after today, to finish the Pillsbury playthings, I only need 2 more pieces. And
Wow.
no, I'm sorry, 3.
Oh.
I take it back because I don't have right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Pillsbury puppet in a can. It's a hand puppet. It's a hand puppet in a can.
Mm-hmm.
All they did was take the head off of one of these and put it on a hand puppet and stick it inside of a can that says Pillsbury and put it in this big white box. But there's a Poppy also.
Yeah.
So
okay.
there's a Poppin and a Poppy. Poppy, of course, is Poppin' Fresh's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And because, if you're a doughboy, you need a dough girl. And I don't have Poppy in the box.
Okay.
And I didn't have this either. And now I can open the other one.
Okay.
Right? So I need Poppy in the box.
Why would anyone ask a stranger if they could enter their house? Talk about creepy and suspicious.
I know, it makes me think of oh god, what is that guy's name? Dave Chappelle, and they have that famous meme with him as the crackhead. And it's like, yeah, hey, you mind if I drop by your house? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know who you are.
John is just happy to see the collection on YouTube.
Well, hey, we're glad to share it.
Number one Marvel fan is here. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, the kids will think your collection is ripe to mess with, like a bull in a fine china shop.
Yeah. And
maybe contract. Yeah, we do have contractors in the house because sometimes we'll get things fixed, and they'll look in amazement and like, oh wow, I remember this, God, I remember that. We'll get that kind of stuff going on. But I don't know. My favorite hat, a Creed CD, and a bunch of toys. I was letting him stay with me.
Oh, that's what he took. Okay.
And he took advantage while I was away at work. He put my boxes back and made things look normal.
Jerk. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't trust anybody. Oh, David, look at that. Yeah.
Okay.
I know I get weird stuff. Some people, I get stuff people didn't know existed in a lot of cases.
We'll start with Robert once we finish looking at this.
And I got his wife. It's the Poppy doll that goes with it.
Okay, she got on a little dress and everything.
She's got on a little dress. Poppy's a little plump little girl.
Yeah, that
but
dress
she
a
can bake.
Tight.
She can bake though.
Yeah. We need to cut back some.
Oh yeah, all those sweets that they make, all those cinnamon buns and stuff. The box is in great shape.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's a real nice box, and they're clean. Usually when you see these, they're grubby or yellow. Even those back there, you see how white they are. Usually they're like faded or yellowed out. But I'm happy. The only other plush that I'm missing is Flapjack. And Flapjack is the dog, because they had a dog named Flapjack, who was also like a dough dog, I guess. I don't know. Um, that one's a little harder to find because it was more popular than these two. So Flapjack is going to be tough. Poppy, the hand puppet, because I've got the Poppy, the vinyl dolls,
Mm-hmm.
or the vinyl figures, I guess. They're really more figures. I have, I need the Poppy, a hand puppet. She doesn't come up too often in the box, but it shouldn't be too much. Flapjack might cost a little bit. Flapjack might get a little bit expensive. And then it's Uncle Raleigh, and that's where you get screwed up. Uncle Raleigh, which is one of the finger puppets, because
Mm-hmm.
they came in this size also. And he comes with a little car that looks like the cloud car from Care
Care
Bears.
Bears.
Yes, from Care Bears, in a box. And if you can find him in the box, I mean, the last one that was available that I saw on eBay, which was a couple of years back, once the bidding was like over $1,000, I didn't even want to watch it anymore because it was like it's like over 1,000 already, and it's got like 3 days to go. It's gonna get crazy.
Mm.
It's like super super rare to find. She's also machine washable, soft, safe, and durable. She's a hardy girl. She's
Mm-hmm.
durable.
Yeah.
That's too much. They had to give him a whole family, because they have kids too, and they have a grandmother, grandmommer, and grandpopper as the mother and father. I don't know whose mother and father they are. I assume it's Pillsbury Doughboys. And
Mm.
then they have two children, a cat and a dog, in
Mm-hmm.
the family lineup, and Uncle Raleigh, whoever the hell he
Oh
is,
wow.
Uncle Raleigh.
Yeah, Raccoon Eyes. Once you start, because I started looking up those cereal, and man, I I wanted quite a bit, but I
Yeah,
remembered, and some of them I didn't remember, but a lot of them I did. But they just look so cool, and I'm
especially
still
the
like, who keeps that? Who keeps that kind of stuff?
yeah, and some of it is pretty hard to find. Like even the GI Joe Stars and Stripes cereal
Oh
the
wow!
box, and the
Happy birthday!
hey Yujiro, it's his birthday.
Yay!
Congratulations! And it can get expensive. The Ghostbusters. They made cereal C3POs from Star Wars
That
cereal.
sounds familiar. Didn't that wasn't that like some soup, like Campbell's soup or
No,
something?
that was cereal. C3POs was a cereal.
Okay, I do
They had
remember that.
there were soups and stuff
Some
too,
they
because
had some. I think they had like Batman
Ninja
soup or something.
Turtle did it. Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles did Chef Boyardee, and there was a mail order shredder that's like a unique color that's very expensive now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have all the entertainment you
Oh, you got
need.
some catching up to do here.
Yeah.
Moon says, "You guys think I can stay in the spare bedroom?
No.
It's full of cats."
You get
I
yeah,
think
the cats are gonna
that's
lay
a
on.
side
Okay.
conversation. And
Okay, and that one
yeah,
too.
John says, "Wow."
Okay.
So,
Whoa.
well, see, you got to catch up a little bit there.
Love
Marvel
these.
fan,
Uh-huh. I
yeah,
I find them loose in the
yeah. The
wild.
vinyl figures, you could find them loose all day. Finding them still sealed is another story.
They're about running out of room.
Lee wants to know if we run out of room. Yeah, well,
We run out of room, and
yeah.
like we said earlier when Robert asked, do we swap out?
Mhm.
Um, we have the stuff that's on display, but I know for me, David, not so much. The stuff that's not on display is in boxes, and then when I swap them, I take the stuff that's on the walls now, I take them down and put the stuff that's in the box up, so we just swap them out. So my whole thing, and I've said it a million times, if you have it, you don't want the better. I mean, you so what? It's not on the wall. You can't see it, but you
Yeah.
own it, and that's half the battle is already won because you own it.
And Robert wanted to know when the Doughboy got a wife. 1974, if I'm not mistaken. Uh,
Oh yeah,
oh
is that
yeah,
even
I
legal?
have no idea. I mean, I don't know where he got them.
Yeah, I saw that, Johnny. I'm like, you go on Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, even on Amazon. Most of them are sold out because I was gonna buy them. I didn't make a move on any of them, and now I think they're going to be overpriced like they were before. So I
Mhm.
don't know.
And Marvel found a Keebler Elf cookie jar from the 80s. Is that the
Wow,
one
bet you
shaped like a
that's
tree?
nice.
Is that the tree one? It looks like a tree.
Thanks
Oh, thank you,
again.
Stone Sour.
Little Cabbage
And
Patch
if anybody
face.
is curious about it and wants to see one of the some of the other family, let me know and I can pull one off and show you. You know, if you want to see any of the other family members, if you're not familiar with this at all.
Okay, side conversation.
Yeah, David said.
MLZ lost their
Oh, really?
creator. Oh,
The writer? I didn't know that. Yuchiro, you leaving already?
you got things to do.
I guess.
My wife collects Funko and has the Wizard of
Wizard
Oz
of Oz.
metallic, I think.
Hmm.
I know it's worth it. Yeah, from the original stuff.
Yeah, the old stuff before 2015 still holds a value.
Nice color. Oh yeah,
I do
that
have
coffee
a
mug.
I do have a small collection of coffee mugs.
I mean, he got rid of a lot though.
Yeah, I
it
had
was
to thin
getting
it out.
too.
I had
It
to
was
thin it
getting to
out.
be too much. Someone should make the Walking Dead animal crackers. They would sell. They probably would.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
And,
all.
no, there's another one.
Oh, okay. All
And
right,
the
we've
Kool-Aid
caught
pitcher.
up.
Yeah, they had the Kool-Aid pitcher
Mhm.
and the little mugs, and they came in a variety of colors. They were clear, orange, blue. They did different colors, and of course, there's always the funny face. And I had this one,
Okay.
and they put it in a box of pods from Finish, laundry pods, and the box, of course, already popped open. This popped open in the mailbox.
Oh wow.
So yeah. But it's a sturdy enough box. I mean,
yeah,
it's not a bad box
thick
actually.
box.
But yeah, this is there's another thing in here.
Okay.
They packed it in
Well,
newspaper.
something.
Shame on you. Where is this from? Let me see. Where did they find a newspaper in the 21st century?
Yeah.
And it's an old one too. June 24th, 2022, Antiques and the Arts Weekly. Oh, okay. So Antiques and the Arts Weekly.
Newspaper.
Yeah, newspaper.
Another dying. Well, it's not dying. It's already dead.
Newspapers are dead.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Magazines are dying.
Yeah.
But newspapers have had it. Right. It's like
Occam's Razor. Wow.
Hey, glad for
how are you
glad
doing?
you're able to join us today.
I hope you're feeling better.
Oh yeah.
I haven't made it to a live stream in a year. Yeah, we're doing, had some rough spots, but things are starting to even itself out. Hope you're doing well. I know the last time we talked, you had some back issues. They have Pillsbury family in the. I don't remember the family.
I think only Poppy appeared.
Someone made a Wizard of Oz figures. I have the loose Scarecrow and Cowardly Lion. They made like the 1/6 scale figures. Somebody did. I've seen them every so often. You'll see it at shows. Hey, strawberry shortcake clock. Ain't that cute? That's nice.
Does it work? Strawberry shortcake clock. That's what I'm trying to find out. Well, I don't know if that battery is any good or not. It's in there.
Aww.
Strawberry shortcake clock.
Okay, hold on.
By Bradley. Bradley made this. One of those things that you would buy from the Sears catalog back in the day. And she's got her little cat there, little figurine in front of her little strawberry house.
Oh, David.
What? Do you think this is for you?
Yeah, I know it is. Little cat.
Yeah, she's got the little cat, and you see the cat's on a little spring.
So you can bounce
or
around.
is she just nuts? I can't tell.
But I actually want to know if anyone is interested in seeing the new Ghostbusters movie.
Cast has many of the originals. How much are they going to be involved? Are they just going to make cameos or just fade to the background as they get rid of them altogether and kill off the legacy actors? Humpty Dumpty stuff? I don't think so.
I didn't know they made Humpty Dumpty stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know those Croft people.
Oh yeah.
Sued McDonald's about the Playland. What? Oh yeah. Did they?
because of the costuming, that whole costuming bit, or like Mayor McCheese and stuff like that. Croft had been doing that kind of stuff. I don't think they got anywhere with the lawsuit, but they tried. Akira Toriyama creating Dragon Ball Z anime would never become as big as it has in the West. I believe that. Laney says, "Oh, thanks for always sharing the nostalgia. Love the podcasts and the Facebook group too."
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Robert kind of like to see Ghostbusters sequel. I didn't even see the last one. I don't know if I want to. I'm wondering. I know people have said they've done a lot of fan service with it, but I don't know if I would watch it and feel like, you know what, it just doesn't feel the same, and not want to be bothered with it. If that makes any sense.
Well, now it feels like cleanup work after the all women one went in the toilet.
That was a failure.
Yeah, so now it's like cleanup work,
and that was Bill Murray's fault.
I ain't gonna blame.
It is Bill Murray's fault because he kept changing his mind. Because Dan Aykroyd was trying to get it done, and then he was like, "Bill Murray is on, Bill Murray's off." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it. No, I don't give a damn about Ghostbusters. Yeah, I'm going to come. No, stop calling me." And he kept changing his mind, and then the other guy dies, and then Dan Aykroyd is like, "Shit, what am I going to do? Well, why don't we just reboot it?" And wow, that was a bad idea. That was just a bad idea. And he was practically in interviews begging people to go see it. I promise it'll be funny. Really, that's awful. And I was like, dude, you're just telling us it's gonna suck, and it did.
William Randall says that the Afterlife was really good, and he's looking forward. So, okay, the Afterlife is the one with those kids. Yeah, we go to Goodwill all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes it's okay. Occasionally we find something, and most of the time it's almost insulting the way it's priced.
Yeah, I've watched Golden Girls.
No. That's not what he's talking about.
Have you ever seen Golden Girls?
Golden Girls is a Gloob knockoff of She-Ra.
Oh, yeah. I have
it's got
seen
the
that.
Pink lion
and
stuff. Yeah,
I have seen.
I think it was Gloob, right?
I don't remember who did it, but now that you say that, yeah, I have seen that. I don't collect it though. Might be a lie. I have seen it. And it does remind you. I realized that it was a knockoff of She-Ra, but I don't collect the She-Ra.
Those are expensive now.
Yeah. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. But no, I have seen it, but I don't collect it. Okay, I just talking about Golden Girls, the TV show.
No, that show's not good.
It didn't hold up. I tried watching it, and I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, because there was a client that we had at the facility that used to like to watch it, and it was mind numbing to listen to the dialogue.
Yeah,
the dialogue's terrible.
Not only the dialogue, but the plots
make no sense. Yeah,
the plots was just ridiculous.
If it's going to be silly, like Gilligan's Island, the plots don't make any sense, but at least it's funny.
Yeah, we talked about that. No, you said only the wife was in the commercial, right?
I believe so. I don't know if they did the other family members. I don't recall, but I think I remember seeing Poppy, but I don't know if I saw other family members.
The guy from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball, the two died.
Kazuki Takahashi.
The two shows a big part of my childhood. Isn't that one we're watching now, that spaceship, isn't that considered an anime?
Yes, Star Blazers.
That's pretty good. I'm actually liking that.
Star Blazers is amazingly well done, and you appreciate it more as an adult. Because when I watched it as a kid, I loved the show, but I didn't understand it as well as I do now because we're rewatching it, and it's like it's very well detailed. I like the idea that it's ongoing. Not only the whole season, but the additional seasons run together as one plot. And then certain episodes are profoundly sad.
Yeah, the
You know,
guy dies.
yeah, people, I mean, and things that you didn't even think about when you were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
like when everybody's up on deck and they're carrying boxes, and you're like, those are coffins. They're doing a burial in space, releasing coffins, and it's like, oh crap, that's right, because they had a big battle, the ship's wrecked,
Yeah.
people died. You know, things like that, they don't sink in until you're older, and you're like, wow, I get it now.
Did Filmation come out with any ISIS related Captain Marvel figures?
I don't believe so. No figures, other types of merchandising. I mean, you might could say, I walk that back a little bit. I know that Mego, because those are actually based off of the TV shows. So Mego, but in like 74, 75, but not anything else that I know of. Yeah, and people got upset at me on that short. You look at some
Why?
of those comments, cutting me down. It's like, did you look at those tires?
They were
And
bald.
yeah, one was intact. One was stripped so far down that the steel belts were starting to show through. The other one was bald, and one had good tread for about 4 inches, and then the inside tread was stripped out, like
Mm,
he was doing donuts or something. And then the rims were scuffed up anyway.
yeah.
And it was like, you idiot! They're obviously just selling the rims, and it's like the rims are trash too.
Yeah.
What
The
the hell are
rims
you
were
talking
no
about?
good.
People just want to say something.
Yeah, they always got something to say.
But
Yeah, wait for the home release.
yeah,
Ghostbusters Afterlife was actually good.
Egon's daughter.
Egon's
Hmm.
daughter. I also like Godzilla versus Kong. Just wish they stopped giving Kong weapons and making them kaiju buddies.
Yeah, okay. Johnny
Your
said
thoughts
thoughts.
on
Oh,
Karate
a new
Kid?
Karate Kid movie with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, and Ralph
I
Macchio.
don't know, because they already did the remake with Smith's kid. I didn't
Yeah.
see it, but I heard a lot of people say it really sucked and
Mm,
was a lot more unrealistic than the original.
really. Watch Prey, the newest Predator movie. I actually liked it,
Uh huh.
but wish the natives would have spoke in native language instead of English.
Uh huh.
But that Predator was sick. I heard it wasn't as
As
bad
bad.
as people were preparing
Yeah,
themselves
but a
for.
teenage girl and a boomerang hatchet and stuff, and it's like there's certain things that are, you know what? You throw a hatchet into a tree and try to pull it out. I have. All right. And then imagine a 13-year-old girl with an arm about that big, snapping it out with a rope that's tied to her wrist. It doesn't make sense.
Did you see Battle of the Planet?
Battle of the Planets is another great one, as is Robotech.
Oh wow.
Robotech was good too.
He created
Kentaro
Berserk.
Maruza. Uh huh.
That was the first complete anime DVD series my father bought me for my birthday
Okay.
almost 20 years ago.
And then, yeah, Robert says they bought the old Shazam 75 show.
Ah,
Oh, okay. Because that's what it was. It was Shazam and ISIS.
hey Dutch. Oh, that's
Oh,
Dutch
yeah,
from
Dutch
the
from Dutch is a show promoter.
yeah, he
Hmm.
does the Conyers toy show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And William
Those
says those tires are the only good for tree swings. Yeah.
yeah, that's about
See,
it.
they wanted $250, and I'm like, God, the rims are scratched up. There's one good tire. The rest of them are bald or stripped, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was the aftermarket rims, and I figured that's what they were doing, but again, they
Yeah.
were all scuffed up. And then you had Value Village. You don't go to Value Village to buy $200 worth of rims.
Some of the prices they throw on stuff is insulting, and that's when I do that short. But
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what you say. There's
Yeah.
always somebody who's going to try to kick you in the teeth for it.
Have you ever watched the pilot for the 1970s Wonder Woman?
I've seen the Wonder Woman series, and I have the Linda Carter,
Mhm.
but I think there was an earlier attempt, but
Oh.
I don't know if I've seen that one. But
I don't.
I've seen the Linda Carter. Linda Carter one is funny, especially the theme song is hilarious if
I
you listen to
remember
it.
watching the show, but I really don't remember what it was about at
Yeah.
all. But I remember me and my cousin watching it and liking it and want to be Wonder Woman. but I don't know what she did. I think she was like what a news reporter or something.
No, she was an officer in the Air Force.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Oh,
She
God.
worked in like she worked in the information office, or like what's the term
Well,
for it?
that's a far
Like
cry from the
like
comics, ain't it?
Air Force intelligence or something.
Oh,
She
wow.
worked in that office. That's
Oh, wow.
you know
Okay. I just remember it being on, and I
yeah.
remember watching it, but I don't know. I remember her spinning around and her clothes
It's
changed.
silly in a Knight Rider sort of way.
We're watching Knight Rider right now.
The show is insane. The
It's
stuff they do
insanely
doesn't make
silly.
any sense at all. Because you didn't realize when you were a kid, because you're just watching it, but as an adult and you're watching it, it's so dumb it's funny. Like yesterday, Michael Knight has amnesia
The
because we watched it yesterday,
Amnesia
the amnesia
series,
episode,
yeah,
and
episode.
he's still so he doesn't even know who he is. Kit tells him to he's fighting with a guy on the balcony 6 stories up. Kit tells him to jump, and he does. You don't even remember who Kit is. You're gonna jump off the freaking building.
Because a car told him to.
And then the sunroof opens up real quick, and the chair comes way up out of the and catches him and brings him gently back down into the car. And I'm like, what the hell?
I don't think people
Oh,
will ever
man.
stop talking
Yeah.
trash online. Every post, every topic, don't matter. A couple
Yeah.
of bad apples will try to
I don't
spoil it.
I don't bother answering them. There's no point. But the thing with that, Occam, is that the internet has opened up a Pandora's box, providing people the opportunity to hide behind the anonymity of the internet.
Yeah.
So you can be the biggest prick in the world and no one will ever figure you out.
So that girl killed Predator?
Of course. And he was like an ultra predator too.
What?
We just yesterday
Mm-hmm.
started the first episode of Comet Empire.
Of that season 2.
Season 2.
Robotech.
Yeah, Robotech's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
it's agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Battle of the Planets is funny too.
Yeah, I wish.
But Battle of the Planets is a good one. Oh, we got to jump ahead here a little bit.
Called Mummies Alive.
That I remember that show. They made action figures for it too, I believe.
Doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
It's doofy and it's funny.
Wonder
but
Woman
it's
is
good.
like that.
Yeah, okay.
One that
And Dukes of Hazzard is like that.
It's like that. The last season, I don't know what the hell's going on though, because the last season it got really weird. And the last season, they're not jumping cars anymore because they couldn't afford any more of them.
Oh yeah.
Lanny, I like the look of the 15-inch Scareglow. I'm not going to get one, but I like the idea of the oversized like remake of the classic, and I like that they put the bones on the inside of the body.
Yeah.
So it glows through. I think that's a unique idea.
It reminds me of when Mattel did the big blow up figures, those 12-inch ones.
Yeah, the 1/6 scale on the big card.
Yeah.
It would be neat if they sold it blister carded like that.
Yeah.
On a big
but
card.
Mondo's probably going to throw it in a box.
They'll put it in a box.
Yeah. Predator. Oh, he killed the grizzly.
In that latest film.
I remember Kathy Lee Crosby as Wonder Woman. I was like, she's blind.
Yeah. Because they made an attempt at it early on.
I got a book about TV movies. Okay.
60s to 80s. The one that'll surprise you also is $6 Million Man.
She's a smart.
Because it's a bigger drama than you remember when you were a kid.
Oh yeah, so it's not doofy.
It's not doofy at all.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny in a way because they did slow motion to emphasize the strength of the bionic parts of his, because he's a cyborg.
Wow. The Knight Rider box set on Blu-ray has the flashing red lights, and it plays a little bit of the theme song.
You know what's funny about that show also is the music.
Oh yeah,
because it plays real hit music from the 80s, but their version, because they have someone else re-singing it. It sounds off. You're like, I know that song. Wait a minute, who's singing that?
Is that Nighthawk? I thought it was Street
So
Hawk.
a Nighthawk is a motorcycle.
Yeah, but I thought it was called Street Hawk because didn't he have that the
Yeah,
helmet that came down and it had all that
it
information
might
in the
have been
helmet?
maybe is Nighthawk the helicopter? Because
But
there's a
he says the
helicopter
motor
version
is a
too.
motorcycle.
There's a helicopter one too. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah, but I remember that, but I thought it was
Hey,
Street
Black
Hawk.
Knight.
Hey, Black Knight, how you
Black
doing?
Knight has a channel also where he
Yeah.
does toy hunts.
Uh
And
oh,
Brian
Brian
likes my
Sanchez.
beard. You got to grow your own. You got to grow one out. Lou won't let you.
No, we're gonna get it down to
I did
ZZ
an
Top.
unboxing of something from Lou because Lou sent me this. Brian, Lou sent me this because you might have seen his video where he got a trade from me, and this is what was traded for.
We're gonna get Davis Beard down to ZZ Top standards.
She's the one that wanted me to grow it out.
We're gonna see how long it takes to get the ZZ Top. Kid, I need you, buddy. Sorry, Michael, I can't keep fighting your battles. Yeah, he always says that. Kid, I need you, buddy.
Yeah, I need you, buddy. And
Have
then
seen
Kid
Star
like
Blazers
unlocked.
Japanese? Oh, it was a Japanese live action movie.
They did make a live action movie. I think they dubbed it into English, didn't they?
Oh, he says on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll look it up because I'm liking the TV show.
Hulk battling a bear is better. No, the best bear fight that you will ever see in cinema is Hercules Takes New York, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you've got to watch the dubbed version, not the remake.
Okay.
Because the film was redone there's two versions. One, Arnold's real voice, and one with an actor dubbing his voice over because his accent was so bad no one knew what he was saying. And in the dubbed version, you see Arnold, and they have a voice like this. Hi, I am Hercules.
Oh my God.
It's like,
come on.
His lips don't even match up. It's hilarious. But there's a scene with him fighting an escaped bear in Central Park because Hercules is in New York. And we go from a bear, stock footage of a bear walking in the woods that doesn't even look anything like where he is because he's in Central Park, not Yellowstone. Then a guy in a bear suit going like this, and then him holding a big stuffed bear and spinning around and throwing it all over the place.
Oh my God.
So they kept transitioning between the three. So he'd pick it up and throw it, and then they'd show stock footage of the bear walking, and then the dude in the bear suit again, looking like he's gonna box with him. It's hilarious. It's the best bear fight scene ever done.
Oh yeah, it is Street Hawk, but there
Airwolf
is
the helicopter.
It
or Blue
is
Thunder.
Nighthawk, and I think the Nighthawk is on Tubi. Is that superhero?
Is Nighthawk the one with the guy in the it's like a really bad 90s superhero?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
He's a
okay.
superhero. And I tried to watch it, but it was like I couldn't get into it. I have to try it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got like a bionic eye or something weird. Something happens to him. I couldn't get
Image comic bullshit.
Yeah, I couldn't get through the first episode, but yeah, it's on Tubi. So you can always watch it. And I keep saying I'm gonna try it again, and I just didn't.
Robert says that the Hulk TV show about child abuse made him cry. A lot of those are really well written, and it is a sad show. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Sometimes the Hulk, some of the scenes they do look silly, like when he's running in New York and you can tell he's wearing green shoes.
Yeah,
things like that. It's kind of funny. Or somewhere the makeup rubbed off, and you can see his actual skin color through it. And what's the other one? I was talking about $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah.
Because the Bionic Man. Because when you watch it as an adult, you don't realize how serious of a drama that show actually was.
Yeah.
Or especially even after his accident, he's trying to commit suicide in the hospital, and the nurse is trying to hold his arm down, and she was like, "Steve, please, calm down." And he's crying, and it's like, "Oh man, you're kidding." Because when you're a kid, that stuff goes right over your head. You don't get it.
Oh, Lou Ferrigno did a bear fight. He had a 500
real
pound.
bear, 500 pound. Well, they get bears trained to wrestle.
I just watched Ice Pirates, an 80s Star Wars style comedy again.
I saw that in the theater when I was a kid. You know, Ron Perlman's in that.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Ron Perlman is in Ice Pirates. That movie is weird. Yeah,
You used to meet me when I was a
the
kid.
Lonely Man is the name of that song, I believe.
We tried watching it, but it was just too depressing. I couldn't take it no more.
I think what pissed her off was that Banner, everywhere, almost everywhere he went,
Yeah.
people were willing to help, and he was like, no, no, and it would wander off somewhere.
Yeah, because people wanted to help him. They knew who he was because they saw the transition. And he was like, "No, I'm putting you in danger." And they're like, "No," because the Hulk never hurt
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
He always helped and saved people. And Banner just couldn't get his head around it. And that just it just got to me, it just got annoying. As a kid, I liked it because you like seeing the transition, you like seeing Hulk fight and all
Rough
of that.
people up, and
Yeah.
yeah.
But then when you're a kid and you seeing that battle he having, and and then
Excuse me.
after reading the comic, I guess that's what they were trying to go for. Because in the comic they had he had that internal battle, but the Hulk could actually talk, and the Hulk wanted to be the Hulk and not be David Banner.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And then who remembers when Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk was on Mr. Rogers?
Oh, really?
Mr. Rogers.
As the Hulk?
Mr. Rogers interviewed him in
Mhm.
his trailer
Mhm.
on the set of the show.
Oh, okay.
And because Mr. Rogers, he does the whole purpose behind the Neighborhood of Make Believe was it's okay to pretend, but it's time to put that away too,
Mhm.
and to understand the difference between fantasy and reality.
Mhm.
So that was the way popular kids show. Here's who the Hulk really is, as opposed to no, there's not really. He doesn't really turn into a monster, and all this other stuff. That's why Big Bird could never be on the show, because the people who control Big Bird, he would want. This is what I read for Carol Spinney, who was inside the Big Bird, to reveal himself and explain, yeah, it's a big puppet, and I do this and that, and they were like, no, we're not doing that. He's got to stay in character, and Mr. Rogers is like, well, I guess we can't do it.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Are there any other toy history videos coming?
Yeah, actually, you were here, weren't you, Muni? I'm going to be doing one on this set now that I have the last component to the set. And this was on my list of things I was looking out for this year, if you recall, when we did that video like a month ago.
Mm-hmm. The gorilla fell in love with
that
Wonder
sounds
Woman.
familiar.
Very sad. Let's see. What do you guys think of the movie Barbarella?
It's a 60s film.
I guess
it's really weird.
I never saw or even heard of that.
It doesn't need a remake. It doesn't need a remake.
They're gonna make a remake of it? Oh yeah, I guess they're remaking it. Oh
yeah, because they're creatively bankrupt in Hollywood. So it's like, oh, this film is popular. Let's do it again. Oh, well, let's do it again.
It's all about remaking. And we were talking today because we saw a movie called Insect, which it wasn't about. Well, yeah, it was called Insect. Film.
Yeah.
And it started off as a worm, and then it became this big insect. And of course,
it looked like kind of like a praying mantis, I think.
Yeah,
sort of. Yeah,
a praying mantis, ant, something. I don't know what it was, but at the end, it goes off in a way that it could be a sequel. And then, a lot of 80s, 90s horror ends that way.
Yeah.
And then I was saying, why don't they
and
go
then they
back?
never have a sequel.
Yeah.
Like the Blob,
mm-hmm.
which was a remake of a 50s movie. And the 80s Blob is much better. But then, because you remember the priest at the end had a little piece of it in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't know what happens. Or The Stuff. That was wild. There's a lot of good films from that era that they could go back, and if they picked it up where it left off, it could be done right. But
yeah, and it's like, why don't you just pick those up where it left off instead of ruining great movies? But they did that with The Thing, and that could have been okay if they had picked up where it left off, and a new team got to Antarctica and they saw the two frozen bodies sitting there. Yep. And then they go from there. But then they wanted to make a prequel all the way before the one from what, the 60s or 50s or 60s or whatever.
Well, the '50s one, the thing looked like Frankenstein.
Nomsky really liked Daredevil in the Hulk show.
Mhm.
Call me crazy, but Daredevil in all black suit is better than the red or mustard yellow colors.
And John says, if we ever see the movie Blowout with John Travolta, I don't. That
Mm-mm.
doesn't sound familiar. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't sound familiar. And Occam says, 50 toys and comics are on a downward trend
Really?
in price. Generation is unfortunately gone now. Um,
I don't know about the comics
No,
part.
comics-
Toys, maybe.
comics are still up there from that era.
Mm-hmm.
But sir, it depends on what the toys are. But part of the reason for that is because the market's been made very difficult. Now, 50s robot toys are still pretty valuable.
Mm-hmm.
The cap guns, they've made it almost impossible to sell the damn things.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to move the cap guns.
Yeah, because of that red tip.
Yeah, they want you to have a red tip on it, or else you can't sell it, and you can't ship it internationally, so it can't leave the continental U.S. if you sell it in the United States, and vice versa in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But a model train, a lot of the trains and stuff from that era have come down. That's
Yeah.
true. Dolls have come down, like stuff that back in the day when I was a dealer back in the 90s. And I used to deal with Chatty, if I had Chatty Cathy's
Mhm.
and stuff like that, any of the old Ideal dolls, Ideal Shirley Temples, that sort of thing, Velvet from Ideal, that stuff sold. It got good money. Now it doesn't. It's probably could get less than half of what I could have in the 90s.
They have the Fallout video game show is coming to Prime.
Okay.
In
I never
April.
played Fallout.
Love Forever Night, but the ending pisses me. I don't
Forever
know
Night, is that vampire show?
I don't know. The Fallout series can turn really bad. Some of the games were great. Some not so much.
Okay.
I know they had Halo. Isn't Halo the one with Master Chief? They had a TV show of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how it turned out,
I
though.
never played that either.
Yeah, but Master Chief was real popular, so they did a TV show.
Mhm.
But I never heard how that came out. How that turned out.
David says 80s film on Tubi, Warlock and Warlock 2. I remember that. I remember Warlock.
I don't
It's
know if I
another
saw
weird
that.
one.
Love 50s toys, cool 50s laboratory
Yeah.
set with the real uranium.
Oh, the Mr. Potato Heads from that time period are coming down too.
Yeah.
The original Mr. Potato Heads.
I saw that one. We saw
Yes.
3 of them. It's 3 versions of Body
The
Snatchers.
50s one,
Yeah,
the 70s one,
with
and then
Sutherland,
Donald
Donald Sutherland.
Sutherland, and then a modern one. The modern one is awful.
Yeah, it had that guy that plays James Bond.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name. Daniel
Pierce
Craig.
Brosnan.
No, Daniel Craig.
Oh, was it Daniel Craig? Okay,
Mhm.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
And then the 50s one, of course, they win because they beat the aliens.
Yeah.
The government stepped in and dealt with it. But in the 70s one left you hanging.
Oh,
You don't know
the Western
you don't
stuff.
know how it worked out. Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, that Western stuff.
Western-
We see a lot of the Western stuff at the shows, though.
And it's so historically significant. It really is. Well, in the 50s, more than half of the dramas on television were Westerns. It was very, very popular.
We haven't bought any comics lately.
Yeah, except for these. That
the ones you
have
just
them, right?
got me
the ones that I
today,
just gave her
But
today.
we really haven't bought any comics lately.
Not since the last convention. That
Yeah,
we
the
attended.
last comic show. Is one coming up
And then
later this month? Is it this month or next month?
and then I spent too much but the deals were insane. I don't like talking about prices because I don't want to yeah. Okay.
We're going for the ZZ Top look, not the Viking Warrior look. Well, I'm gonna try once it gets long. We're gonna put some braids in it. and we're going to do some different things with it. So yeah, we might have some Viking going on a little bit, but once we get to chess level, we are full on ZZ Top.
She's crazy.
Full on ZZ Top.
Whatever makes you happy, sweetheart. The what was I saying? Yeah, more than 50% of the dramas on TV were westerns because there was a big obsession with it at that time. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, there was a lot of stuff related to that, and it's kind of dying out now. And I can see that in some of the Western comics. And it's a shame when you think about how historically significant some of those people were, like Gene Autry.
Yeah.
Gene Autry, there wouldn't be country music without Gene Autry. Before that, it was called Western music, and he's the one that changed it so that country music became a thing. This is a guy with over 200 top 10 hits.
Really?
And he also wrote other stuff, like he wrote the songs for Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He did their music. He was around. He was in something like 68 or 70 films he starred in. He had his own show. He had his own radio drama. He had his own comic book. His horse had its own comic book. He was really culturally significant. Now you tell people Gene Autry, they're like, huh?
Who's
what
that?
The hell is that? Who's Gene Autry?
Yeah, but I think it's the newer comics, not the older stuff, because a lot of people are getting tired of the newer comics. I'm not sure if the older comics are drying up. But then, honestly, I haven't really been looking at comics. I'm doing a whole revamping. But David laughs, but it's true. I haven't bought anything in a while.
And we've talked about that before, too, because, we go to a lot of shows, and we talk to some of these dealers, especially the comic dealers, and they all say the same thing. The vintage stuff sells if it's printed before 2000, I can move it. I'm trying to get away from new stuff altogether. I don't even want new product. I want to cut I have already cut ties, or I want to cut ties with Diamond Distribution and just put an end to it. But older stuff sells. We know that one guy, who is that? Jack?
Yeah.
He wants to go straight Golden Age because he moves so much of it.
Yeah, he moves it, and he moves it fast. And he has some newer books, but it doesn't even go anywhere. We did all those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're down here now.
Excuse me.
But it doesn't really go anywhere. Gabriel Lone Ranger figures from 81.
Yeah, Gabriel Lone Ranger. It's a neat series.
Do you guys hear that Disney is canceling some upcoming films due to the billions they have lost? Yeah, we've heard that them and DC, they're canceling movies and TV shows. A lot of projects. They fired a bunch of people, and they're going to just start over.
They need to.
Chris Potter is the new voice. Okay.
Side conversation there. I don't know who that is anyway. I can't remember.
I was going to ask, have y'all heard about Mike Tyson and that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Logan Paul?
Is that right? Is that his name?
All right, John. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi to us. Enjoyed having you.
Okay. Yeah, Mike Tyson. That's interesting.
Yeah,
because
that young
if you
guy.
watch Mike Tyson, he never stopped training. He's still in pretty decent condition.
Yeah.
And plus, everybody hates that other guy. They would love to see him just get the crap kicked out of him by somebody old school.
Yeah. The older comics are keeping these stores and the variants. You're right.
And the argument with the variants from the comic dealer's perspective is they have to buy so many of the new books to get the variants, and they can't get rid of them once they have them. Even in the dollar bins, 50-cent bins, brand new condition, they can't move them. So is it really worth it to buy 400 books to get 3 or 4 variants that'll sell, and then I've got nowhere to put these, and nobody will buy them. Oh yeah, the Marx play sets, Occam's, are fantastic. The 50s and 60s play sets.
Yeah.
They had some fantastic stuff.
Yeah, Tyson, we were watching some of his workouts today. And I told David, because I do this one the kickboxing workout, and they have like the Mike Tyson warm ups, his push up routine that he does every day, and they have some videos of him just doing his boxing routines. And he's still pretty, he's in shape. He looks pretty good and
He's
everything.
quick.
So
He's still pretty quick.
I don't know. I don't know why you want to
And
make a
then
challenge with him.
the other thing also, well, I mean, it gets views, and that's all he wants. Whether he wins or loses, he still wins when he goes to the bank, and that's what he's after,
Mm-hmm.
basically. But from the other perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at somebody hungry and that has something to prove. That's Tyson.
What does
Th-
he have to prove?
that he can still do it. I mean,
Okay.
he's been screwed over pretty bad, and then
Yeah.
and this would be a way to let it out.
Well, he kind of
And
messed himself up with that woman. They say that
going to jail.
yeah, he went to jail, and after that woman, then he kind of went off of the rails when he bit dude ear off, and then he did some other weird things. He went to jail for a minute, and now he's
Yeah,
kind of back on his feet. He was in a movie, and he's kind of back on his feet now, and he kind of quiet, got his little birds going and everything. So I don't know.
yeah. The but the other guy is just he's just looking to get like
Paid.
views. He's
Yeah.
just looking to get views so he can pick up that monetization or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he does, that's what he's looking for. He'll get it.
Cause they say Netflix is going to pick it up.
Yeah.
Robert would love to see the guy that plays Reacher do an update, decent version of Flash Gordon. I think he's too big, and I
Flash
think
Gordon.
and I think he's too young.
Somebody it's been tossed around the idea of him playing Thomas Wayne in a
Yeah,
variation of Batman.
yeah.
And Thomas Wayne is a big character, so that would fit.
My comic shop sells new comics all the time. I have a pull list, pick up about 12 new comics each month.
Hmm.
Those punches can still sit that face up. Yeah. Because recently he hit somebody on the airplane.
On
Some
the
guy was
airplane.
mouthing off on the airplane, and
Knocked
he
him out.
knocked him out. And everybody that saw it and on the video said they could tell he held that punch. He didn't even give
Yeah.
the full force of it.
That's what Munin is saying right there. People do seem to like to provoke him. Why? Why you want to
Yeah.
poke? Why you want to poke the bear, as they say?
Yeah.
The
Just
old
leave that man
expression.
alone.
Poke the bear.
I don't want to try.
Reach a guy should pay
Lionel.
Lionel.
Yeah, because he is a big dude.
They've been talking live action Thundercats since the 90s. Back in the 90s, they even there were even rumors that David Carradine was going to play. Not David Carradine. Was it David Carradine?
Yeah.
Was going to play Tigra in the film live action. But it's never come to fruition. If they did a live action Thundercats, they'd screw it up.
Well, it'll be all CGI. They're not going to find big buff people and put makeup all over them to do the thing, which would be the best way because it would look more natural. They're going to put CGI all over them, and then they're going to look half cartoonish and everything. And then who's going to play
Yeah.
Mumra? And are you going to transition? If you're going to transition Mumra, that would have to kind of be in CGI. So I don't know. I think
That kind of like what they did. They even did it in Thor: Love and Thunder because that girl was skinny as hell. They drew dots on her arms so
Yeah.
that they could make it look like she had big buff arms.
instead of just getting somebody that halfway look like you want
You
them to
can
look.
find fit women who are muscular and in great shape. Cause like those couple of girls that were in the Strongman.
Strongman. Yeah, because we watched
the Arnold
Strongman.
Classic, and there's a couple of girls there. They're very feminine looking
Yeah.
and very obviously very muscular
Yeah, they're big as
for
can be.
females. Yeah, and it's like that. You can teach those people to act. You can't teach an actor to put on muscle.
Well, some people
Some do.
they,
Some do. I'll give you
like
that. Yeah.
with Demi Moore when she did something. She when she did that stripper movie, and then
Learn to dance. Yeah.
Have you guys seen Dune 2 or the first film? I
Didn't
never
see either
seen,
of them. No, I didn't
them.
see any of the modern ones.
Yeah, I never seen.
And Robert said Reacher guy should do Cats. Oh, they did a film of Cats.
Yeah, they did a Broadway something
Well, they
another.
had Broadway,
Yeah,
but
and they did the live version of that. That's kind of weird.
yeah, people didn't like it.
Oh
They
yeah,
didn't care for it at all. I thought it looked really bizarre because they
CG.
CGI'd that.
Right, and it'll
You
be the
can't put them
same
in
thing.
makeup. They've been doing it in makeup since the 80s.
Yeah,
Tell
for the play. So, and that's what'll happen if you do Thundercats movie. It's gonna look all creepy and weird. So just kind of
Yeah.
leave it alone.
my Smurf.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about how big a Smurf would be to a human by. Oh no, yeah, because a Smurf is supposed to be 3 apples high, and I know they were very inconsistent in the show with how tall a Smurf is because in 1 minute it's like that, 1 minute it's gigantic. This is about how big it should be to a human.
I just want one true to cartoon comic, a raw G.I. Joe film before I die. Please, Hollywood, just watch the
They
cartoon,
had
make it
2
live.
live
Don't
action films.
change
They
a thing.
had 2 live action
But he
films.
said it wasn't true to the cartoon or comic.
You can't do it. Some
You can.
stuff doesn't translate well from animation. Some stuff doesn't translate well from comics to live action. You watch it in live action, no matter how accurate it is, it's like, what the hell are they doing? I think there are certain things that are in animation that if you put it to live action, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. That's why they didn't want to do Monster Squad. You remember?
Yeah.
They said, no, I think we better keep it animated instead of trying to do it live action.
Yeah.
DC.
Some things do. I can agree with
Yeah.
that. Some things just do look better, and you can believe it easier
Mm-hmm.
if it's cartoon. Because some things in a comic book, it gets kind of fanciful after a while.
Mm-hmm.
But if you leave it in the comic book or you leave it on the cartoon, it's like, okay, I can go with it because it's a cartoon or it's a comic book.
Yeah. But then you see it in live action and it's too far beyond what could realistically be done.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're talking about someone with superpowers or whatever, and you watch it and you're just like, because there's things that don't make sense. Like Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, where he's fighting Dr. Octopus, right? Octavius. Now he's got the arms, and his strength is in the cybernetic arms that are attached to his back. Okay?
Who is this now? Octopus?
Dr. Octopus.
Okay.
Now you have Peter Parker, who's strong enough to stop a runaway train in this film, okay, by pressing his body against it, punching Dr. Octopus in the face without phasing him. He still has a normal human body.
I mean, the only person that can stop a train is Superman.
Okay, well, he stopped the train with his webs and stretched him out, and he got crushed into the train.
Webs?
Yeah, he shot webs out and held onto him, and then he put his feet and was breaking the beams underneath of his feet and trying to stop it without damaging his shoes, by the way. Go back and watch the film. This stuff, you watch it like that, you read through it in a comic book, and that stuff glazes past your mind. You watch it in live action, and you're like, the moment he touched Dr. Octopus and landed that first blow on his face, he should have been wiped out. He should be on his way to the emergency room, because those arms, they don't increase his strength, they don't increase his durability, anything. He's still vulnerable in his body. You can get over that reading it in the comic, but seeing it live action, you're like, wait a minute. That, finally it connects, and you're like, that doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah. No. Yeah, some things just need to stay cartoon and stuff. No, we never in our lifetime are going back. I'm not. David might go.
Oh, the Kane County Toy Show. It'd be nice to go to the Kane County Toy Show again
in person.
But we've been there before, and yes, that any toy show you go to, Occam, it's nerd-tastic plastic, and he's probably got a booth set up.
Yeah.
Any toy show you go to in Illinois, Michigan,
and that
Wisconsin
area.
he does that whole tri-state and he does Kane County too. I although last year he didn't do it for some reason.
Oh,
The
okay.
very last one he did not do, but he's done all the other ones. So Nerdtastic Plastic is Warren. He's my son.
Is it true the Cobra's Big Boa is a knockoff of Sylvester
Um,
Stallone?
Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, the
Mm-hmm.
Rocky character, was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have a raw action figure. It was
Really?
supposed to be a mail order figure.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so Big Boa was supposed to be the antigen because they try to do it so that every character has an opposite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow,
Mm-hmm.
or even though in the cartoon it was actually Spirit
Snake Eye.
was
Wait.
the opposite
Oh,
to
Storm
Storm
Shadow.
Shadow, but in the toys
Snake
it was
Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
So Big Bull was supposed to be the opposition to the Rocky, who was supposed to be an official or a special trainer for GI Joes.
Mm.
But then Coleco stepped in and said, because we own the rights to the Rambo figures, which is still Sylvester Stallone's likeness. You're not doing it. And so they had to cancel it. And then you ended up with the Fridge instead. They made the Fridge action figure of the
Yeah, I know who
player,
you're
yeah,
talking about.
as the official trainer for GI Joe.
Yeah,
So
Rambo
that's
would have been a better fit.
Rocky would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Rambo. Well, they didn't want to because they didn't want to go in the
Hey,
direction
bow
of,
tie guy.
hey, how you doing?
Bow tie toy
Glad
guy.
you could make it.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to. I don't think GI Joe wanted to go the direction of Rambo because in the films it's very violent.
Oh yeah, Rambo will kill you.
Even
G.I.
though
Joe don't
in
kill
the cartoon show,
Mm-hmm.
it's controlled violence, so nobody ever actually gets hurt.
Yeah.
Plus, Rambo never shuts up in the cartoon. He runs his mouth a mile a minute. He didn't talk much in the movies, and when he did, he had something serious to say. But yeah, that's the direction that they went in with that.
Yeah, I want to get on that 70s Flash Gordon.
The Mattel.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I think you're talking about
Defenders
of the
Yes.
Earth, Robert. I have those. I need 2 more to complete that line.
It's tough to find those on the card.
Actually, they're on eBay now, and they're not bad. I just didn't make a move on it. But I want to get the 70s Flash Gordon, but they're expensive. So I thought about getting the NECA remakes because they're just cheaper.
Even though they only ever did Flash and
Ming. Yeah,
but
they only did 2.
A big homage card though.
Yeah.
It looks like the original Mattel cards. It's a nice nod to it. Occam says the Rocky file card can be found in the Marvel comic books for Joe if anyone wants to see it. So he was really close, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they had already had enough trouble because of Sergeant Slaughter. Because of course Sergeant Slaughter being contracted with WWF, and then at that time, and then Vince McMahon started breathing down his neck. Where the hell do you get off making a GI Joe action figure when you're contracted with us and we got LJN or whatever going action figures? That's why that figure was cut off, because it's very hard to find a Sergeant Slaughter. I think they're only prototypes, right? I'm trying to remember. I could be wrong, but maybe somebody knows better than me. And so they had that conflict with Vince McMahon, and there's not much he could do because Sergeant Slaughter owned his own likeness. So he was like, I am Sergeant Slaughter, and I am authorizing them to use Sergeant Slaughter. You can't tell me what to do with a character I created and own the rights to. And so Vince McMahon wouldn't let them make any more Sergeant Slaughter figures for WWF at the time, and kicked him in the nuts that way. But he did better with G.I. Joe, because now that's mostly what everyone remembers him for, because that brought it to life. Because when you saw Sergeant Slaughter on the Raw Sunbow cartoon, and you knew, hey, that's really Sergeant Slaughter. It's his voice. It looks like him, because he did his own voice acting. And you've seen him on the wrestling. That was like, bam, wow factor for kids. And to this day, I mean, that's why he carries the big G.I. Joe wrestling belts when he goes to the shows and stuff, and he wears the camouflage and everything.
Yeah, he does. He's
Yeah.
always in character.
Yeah.
You see him a lot.
That was probably the best movie ever made in his career, was siding with Hasbro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ram. It's a
Yeah.
murder.
G.I. Joe can't hit the side of a barn.
No. Larry Buster Grabble.
Crabble.
Crabble.
The original
Flash
the
Gordon.
original Flash Gordon from the movie serials.
Okay. First Rambo film, first one, I think Stallone has 10. He talked more than that.
Yeah, but he talked with purpose.
Yeah, he did.
And it was good acting, actually.
It was. He did look sad and lonely. Yeah, love the NECA 80s flash. Yeah, I like that too. I wish I could afford the original because I would rather have the original, but next best thing.
Oh yeah, William Perry is in poor health in a nursing home.
Oh,
yeah,
he's in a nursing home?
He was in bad health even in the 90s.
Really?
Actually, yeah. He I can see that. That's unfortunate.
The Sergeant Slaughter figures?
Yeah, because they didn't make now there's Sergeant Slaughter figures for wrestling. But back then, that was one of Vince McMahon's little hissy fits and cut them off.
Yeah, we do get
Well, it's part of the nostalgia. It's part of the culture. Again, in my opinion, like most things, wrestling peaked in the 80s as well.
I don't know. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We did talk about that earlier.
There's two versions. There's one with his true voice and one with the dubbed voice, but the dubbed voice is funnier. I love how in that film they're on Mount Olympus, but if you're watching in the background between the bushes, you can see the highway and cars driving by. So I'm like, Mount Olympus is under a bridge, or where the hell is it? It's supposed to be on some big mountain in Greece, right? No, it's next to the freeway because that's where they filmed it. And you can see cars zipping by in the background with Zeus up on his throne. It's so badly done.
Vince always against anyone who wants to bet. Yeah,
that's the thing that kills me about it, because now Vince is in like real trouble because of the so-called trafficking or whatever was going on, and everybody's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. How?
Why not?
Why can't you believe it? People have been talking about how Vince was an asshole for 40 years. Okay, they've been talking about what a bastard he is in real life since the 80s. Why is anyone surprised? Any book where they talk about him, unless it's The Undertaker and Dwayne Johnson kiss his ass.
Yeah.
But everybody else is like, yeah, Vince screwed me over with this. He did this to me. He told me this. He said this to my wife. Horrible stuff.
Yeah.
So why is anyone shocked?
Do you have any Flintstones? No.
No. Well, I have the thermos. I think that's the only, aside from some vintage, like Dell comic books. I think the only thing I have is the thermos that I picked up in that lot. Yeah, I don't have much Flintstone stuff.
No, I'm not a fan of the Flintstone, like all that.
They're classic though.
Yeah. How does Vince keep getting into trouble at his age?
This is in real nice shape.
Because he don't care, because he think he can do anything because he got money.
Yeah. And the longer you get away with stuff, the more you think you can.
That looks really clean.
This is in a really impressive condition.
Yeah, it looks good
for its age. Yeah, usually the lithographs are scratched to death on these.
Yeah, it's nice and bright.
Yeah, and it's an original Aladdin. I don't have the box, but I got the thermos from a lot that I had purchased at a public auction recently, or I feel like a couple months back.
Yeah,
and this was mixed into the lot, and it was like stupid cheap. And I got with it a lunchbox, but not this one. And it was the I got the Kung Fu lunchbox. And the
you know where it is?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
The Kung Fu lunchbox with no thermos. As David Carradine lunchbox there. And there was some other stuff. There was an antique lamp, an antique fishing lure, some antique glass stirs or swizzle sticks, all in this lot, and nobody was bidding on it. Nobody was bidding on it, and this was at a live auction. So the guy goes, one money, $10. Any takers? And I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. And again, I don't normally talk about prices because I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I couldn't do all this if I didn't have that kind of luck. Trust me.
Yeah.
But
That
that was fantastic. I was like, nobody wants that. You know, $10, one money. Come on. That was a good day. The fishing lure, I sold the fishing lure. The fishing lure got $45.
Wow. Raccoon Eyes don't believe Vince wrote those texts.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't follow all that stuff. I always love Manila Gorilla.
Magilla.
Oh.
You don't even know his name.
It says Manila right there.
Oh, are you reading it? I
Yeah.
thought you were saying
No.
that.
I don't know what that is.
Magilla Gorilla. Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. That's got to be very rare to get.
In clean shape like that, yeah.
Hi.
Still has the top. Hercules.
I guess.
Yeah, still with the top and everything, the stopper intact. Yeah, it's tough to find these in decent condition, especially
Thundar the Barbarian.
Especially since these old Aladdin bottles are glass interiors.
Yeah.
So that's pretty significant. Oh, I remember Thundar the Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
That show was pretty weird too. Saturday morning cartoon show. I think it only had like a season.
A lot of those shows only had a season, and they were surprisingly good.
Yeah, like when we watched the Saturday morning cartoon Planet of the Apes. Very well written.
Good. Yeah.
Very well written. Very interesting. The entire season was one story, pretty much. They didn't finish it because they had set it up for season 2 and never got to it.
Oh, the Kung Fu Lunchbox, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Kung Fu Lunchbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then from my understanding is that the Saturday morning cartoon Planet of the Apes is the most accurate to the original book of anything that's been produced Planet of the Apes wise.
Mm-hmm. He loves raw figures behind you. Figure cases behind you.
Oh, which one? Figure case behind me? Mm-hmm. Where's the figure case? On this side. Yeah. Oh, over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a tough one to find too. Is you're talking about this line.
When you talk about collecting, you need to put luck into the conversation, because without it, some of us wouldn't be able to find certain pieces. That's true.
And that's where I'm at with it, because we're not wealthy.
No.
We're just savvy. We're careful shoppers. We find amazing deals, stuff like that. But yeah, this is tough to find on the card. It's not worth a fortune. These aren't that valuable. The accessory carded packs are not that valuable, but they are very difficult to find in decent cards. This is the cheapest one if you ever wanted to start doing these. The vehicle gear accessory pack, nobody wanted these back in the day. So you could pick this up for under $20 on the card. I'm not kidding. The other ones are more expensive, but they're not that much.
No, we don't have any Mego Flash Gordon. Did Mego do Flash Gordon? I know Mattel did.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Mego
but we don't have any.
But it's in a different scale.
Yeah, the Mego size.
From the regular Mego. Regular Megos are 8 inches or 1/7 scale, I think. And the Buck Rogers are 9 inches tall. It's an inch taller for some reason.
Just saw a cartoon clip of Planet of the Apes.
Saw the intro. Yeah, because there's like crucified bodies hanging upside down and flame and everything at the beginning. Yeah, it's crazy.
We know how he died. Yeah. He died in that closet getting hung up doing weird things.
Yeah.
That's
all anybody ever talks about.
That's all anybody remember about the guy.
And that's
you watch
shame.
If you watch Mystery Science Rift Track, they talk about it all the time.
Anything touches someone's neck, they bring it up on Rift Tracks, and it's like, good night. Just okay. It's kind of in bad taste.
Yeah, I mean, that was that guy thing. He died. I mean, nothing you could do about that.
Oh yeah.
What?
No, I was just seeing the thing again there.
Oh,
but yeah, Rift Tracks brings that up a lot.
Yeah,
there's certain
all
things,
the time.
There's certain things they mention over and over on riff tracks
Mm-hmm.
that
Gets kind of
certain
old real
references like
quick.
that, and certain things that it's even out of touch already because most people in the modern era wouldn't understand that reference.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, and it's a shame about that. Yeah, it ruined his reputation.
yeah, because that's all people talk about,
Yeah,
not
if it's
the shows or the movies
they'll
or
latch on
anything.
to the negative
Yeah.
automatically, and it's kind of like, well, that's what Green Goblin said in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film.
Hmm.
It's like, you think these people love you? Are you kidding? It is like they all they want to see is for you to fall, fail, be destroyed.
Yeah, it is a lot of
Hmm.
people that are passing away. I mean, it seems, I guess, because of social media and
Yeah, it gets
just
around a lot
access.
more now.
Yeah, gets around faster, so you hear about it. But yeah, it does seem like more people are passing away. More recently, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll clean up a little
Watched
bit here.
watched Max documentary on the mother god lady in Colorado. Even had Robin Williams in it. Oh yeah,
I don't know that one.
mother god lady in Colorado. Even had, I know he. It was sad he committed suicide. He just seemed like he was a happy person.
Yeah,
Robin Williams.
yeah. Well,
I
apparently it was
enjoyed
an
him.
act.
I guess
Rac-
because
Raccoon said conspiracy theory is that Carradine was killed by the Chinese mafia and posed that way.
oh apparently
Pissed
that
about the Kung Fu show.
seriously.
Who knows? I doubt that, but whatever.
Okay, we saw
I
that one.
think that and a lot of people get upset with me about that too, but because Bruce Lee was a target for that show, but they didn't like Bruce Lee
Mm-hmm.
because he nobody liked working with him.
Oh.
He's notoriously rough on stuntmen.
Um.
He didn't like stuntmen. He didn't have any respect for them, and so he would shoot on them. So when you hit someone for real, so he would be really rough on stuntmen, and they didn't want to work with him. And it's like, well, we're going to run this whole show where he's going to be fighting in every episode, and we're going to set him. Who? Nope, we can't get anybody to work with the guy. So
Wow.
they were like, whatever, and they blew it off, and they came up with Carradine.
The lead singer of NXS died that way.
Really?
I want some NXS records. I was surprised of how I was watching a behind the music thing, and they were playing the clips, and I was surprised of how many songs I knew. I just didn't realize that was them.
Yeah.
So when we go to the upcoming record show, I'm gonna be looking for their stuff. Of course, if I don't find it, then I'll have to go on eBay and
You know what I want?
Amazon.
You know what I want? Probably,
Thank you,
yeah,
Stone Sour
Stone
again.
Sour
Thank you. We
and
really
Virgil.
appreciate it.
Virgil was
Yeah,
not.
Virgil just died.
He was not popular. The
No.
people that worked with him didn't like him. The
Mm-mm.
fans don't like him.
No.
I've heard horror stories from fans about
Yeah.
dealing with him, going to get autographs and stuff. But yeah, thank you, Stone
But
Sour.
didn't we see him? Wasn't he at a show we were at, Virgil?
I don't remember. I think so. I think he was. But people don't like him, or didn't, and even the people that work with him don't like him. Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
I've seen him in an interview, and he was just like, "Listen, he was like, I don't mind you being around, but at least ask. You
Yeah.
tell he'll come to your show. I'll be somewhere, and I'll find out he's out in the parking lot selling autographs. It's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Stuff like that. He I don't know. He was a weird guy.
Yeah, Robin Williams was in some creepy movies. 1 Hour Photo is
One
creepy.
Hour Photo was good though.
It was
Robin
really good.
Williams, for as many good films as he did, like Dead Poet Society or
Hmm.
Good Morning Vietnam and stuff, he did as many bad films too. He was in a lot of films that just flat out sucked.
Yeah, but 1 Hour Photo was good.
Yeah, One
And
Hour Photo was good.
that episode he did of criminal and no, not criminal, SVU, Law and Order, SVU. He was in an episode of that.
Uh-oh, bless you.
That was an excellent episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was in some creepy movies though. some serious ones, not as many comedies as he was in dramas, because he
Hmm.
was in a lot of dramas, and he did a good job. That one where he was like that funeral director or whatever he was, that was good.
Was that Jack Black? You thinking of Jack Black, funeral
No,
director?
no, 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 no. Robin
Robin
Williams.
Williams.
He wasn't a funeral director. It was a futuristic movie. And if you died, they had this way of
Oh,
taking
okay,
all of your
okay, okay. Yeah, I
memories.
know the one you're talking about now.
Yeah, they took your memories and then they made like this photo lineup to show at the funeral. But then somebody wanted the memories so they can find out some things that the person knew
Hmm.
and all of that. But it was
Oh,
unethical.
Gun
And
Shy joined us.
hey, oh, Gunshine. The only Virgil I know
Devil
is
May
from Devil.
Cry. And
I think most of those wrestlers will be forgotten.
hmm
A lot of them are already
he says,
forgotten.
"Oh
Uh
no,
oh,
watch out,
hold on.
watch out."
Wait a minute. I'm messing up something. Now I can't get it off. Uh oh.
Careful,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ozzy Osbourne isn't doing well. Yeah, none of those old old musicians are doing well. Oh yeah, they wouldn't play Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood due to Quentin's depiction of Bruce Lee in the film. I
Mm.
liked the movie. I did not see it, Occam. And I heard about that though, in that scene that's based on a true
Mm-hmm.
story.
Mm-hmm.
I know the scene you're talking about where he has the fight with the stuntman. That guy was a ringer
Mm.
because the studio was so sick and tired of him putting stuntmen in the medical tent
Mm.
that they hired a professional fighter as a stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he was a stuntman, but
Mm-hmm.
he's like a high ranking judo master or something
Oh.
also. And they said, you sort him out. If
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Lee messes with you, whatever. And that's what happened. And
Oh
the guy
wow.
apparently hemmed Bruce Lee up
Oh
because it was
wow.
a style of fighting Lee wasn't familiar with. He goes to whatever happened. He ended up wrapping the guy up
Oh
and
wow.
holding him, and Bruce Lee could not break the hold, and he's in
Mm.
there screaming. And apparently after that they got along well enough, but because Bruce Lee was like, okay, here's somebody I can respect, but he had no respect for other stuntmen.
That's just
It is
ridiculous. Well, why are you
ridiculous.
gonna be in a movie then?
He was an arrogant guy. He was an arrogant guy, and he
Mm.
was a big socialite. You know, the whole big stigma around him was that, oh well, he would teach to anybody. Yeah, if you happen to be a wealthy Hollywood
Oh yeah,
celebrity,
I heard about
because
this one.
who were his clients? Elvis. Uh, I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Um, oh, who was the other guy? All of his the people that he worked with were like extremely wealthy celebrities.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
saw the new Crow.
James Colburn,
We saw the new Crow character. He looked like that Joker character.
uh, Jared Leto.
Yeah, it's with all of the tattoos and all skinny and pale looking. He was in Awakening, one of the
Eric
best
Peters
perform.
says,
Very good true
you
story.
know, the thing with the Crow too,
Mm-hmm.
remakes of it have already been done and they've all failed.
Really, they did remakes?
The original Crow, there are four.
Oh.
Look it up. There are four of them because they wanted to jump off of the success
Uh-huh.
of the original with Brandon Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And so they made it so that the movie's about the Crow, not him. And
Oh.
so it would resurrect other people to
Oh.
seek revenge. And the movies, they were total trash. They just did not fly. So the first one was the only one. So it's like you've already attempted this several times. Why are you doing it again?
Yeah, that was Goodwill Hunting, Robert.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee was very big into luxury.
yeah. He liked being the big celebrity.
Oh yeah. That's how it was back in the day. Guys would get in fights on the playground,
Yeah,
get up and become best friends. Now one person calls the cops. They don't do that. They just kill you in 2024. That's what happened
yeah.
at Six Flags. um Last week they had a fight at Six Flags and pulled out guns and started shooting everybody.
That's
I don't
right. And
care
that
for
was
Bruce Lee.
buried in the news. You didn't see that story.
Mm-mm. Didn't fit the narrative. He doesn't seem likable or relatable to
Bruce
me.
Lee,
Yeah.
Robert's talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, he was a very arrogant guy. And, but, you know, it gets cloudy because there's a lot of lore around Bruce Lee, the man.
Yeah.
And also the family perpetuates that because they don't want to sit there and say, yeah, my father was a jerk to people. They're not going to admit that,
I
you
seen
know.
what, one or two Bruce Lee movies. Honestly, I only seen two. I watch a lot of karate film. I didn't think he was all that amazing
Hmm.
compared to some of the other karate films I watched. Some of the other actors, I like them better. I like Tony Jaa better. I like Jackie Chan better. I like
Tony Jaa in The Protector is probably one of the best martial arts films that's been done. The Protector is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, the
yeah.
one with the elephant.
Yeah, because it was two parts to it. And
Yeah.
Jet Li is good too. I like Jet Li also. So I mean, I know Bruce Lee wasn't alive that long
Hmm.
to probably get into some films with other martial
Yeah.
artists.
He was a good breakaway because he could speak English.
Yeah.
That's what really propped him during that time period. He could speak English. So when it came around to doing an actual American film instead of all Chinese films that are dubbed, and that was Enter the Dragon,
Yeah.
and then he died. So, you know,
Mm.
Raccoon never saw the
Yeah.
original
I
Crow.
never saw The Crow either.
Based off of the James O'Barr, I think, the original 4-issue miniseries. And
I've heard
yeah,
that Storm Shadow is it's supposed to be Bruce Lee.
yeah.
I've heard that before. Jackie Chan is the opposite of Bruce Lee, it sounds. He seems humble,
At
at
least
least
in
in
interviews,
interviews.
yeah. Robert says he usually watches old Chicago videos on YouTube, but geez, so sad, nothing but rudeness and nastiness.
Oh, yeah. Chicago is crazy of the earth.
And there you are. But yeah, we like our old kung fu movies too.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. We enjoy that. And there's certain ones that are really fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a couple of characters or actors that I like to watch. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I like watching a good 70s kung fu movie. They're often cheesy, but the fight scenes are usually good. Some of them get kind of outrageous when they start jumping straight up into a tree.
And they jumped off backwards and they just ran the film in reverse. Or the sound effects are hilarious in those too. Like people jump and you hear pigeons, and every time somebody throws a punch, it sounds like somebody's swinging a hammer. It's pretty funny some of the sound effects that they have and the voiceovers.
Yeah,
Apparently, everybody in China has a British accent.
I guess.
What's also good is and underrated is from that time period. You never hardly see them. Is Japan was doing films like that too,
Oh, were they?
and some of them are pretty damn good, especially the Lone Wolf and Cub series.
Yeah, you talk about that one often.
I have the whole series on disc, Lone Wolf and Cub. I don't know, but if more than two of them have ever been dubbed in English, though. But they're amazing, and the guy, the sword work in that is fantastic because the guy, he's supposed to be a samurai.
Yeah. Shipwreck is based off of the Jack Nicholson character in The Last Detail.
Yeah, The Last Detail.
Okay, they're talking.
And David says he likes Bolo Hyung and
Yeah.
Shoot Fighter and Tiger Claws. Yeah, Bolo Hyung.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's huge for Chinese.
He's
guy.
not that tall either.
No.
But he looks bigger because he's so bulky.
Yeah.
But Bolo Hyung, yeah, he's been around for a long time too. We see him in some of these old Chinese films from the 70s with a bit part where he's on for like 2 minutes and he plays a dopey guy.
Yeah.
We
We just saw him in one last week and he played that role.
Yeah, a dopey strongman Chinese guy.
What do you think about Hasbro giving the O-ring license to Super 7? I hope we get
Pythona. Oh yeah.
Pythona. Lot of characters.
Not gonna buy any. I'm not gonna buy any. I think it's a good idea because there's a lot of people that are nostalgic for the O-rings,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be smart if Super 7 makes figures that were never done, like you mentioned Pythona.
Uh-huh.
I don't think she was ever done in the original lineup. That's that'll be their money makers. Figures that are compatible with these that have never been done because there are such characters like Big Lob.
Yeah.
They never made Big Lob. It was made in the anniversary set as an anniversary body type figure, the long slender ones.
Mm-hmm.
But Big Lob never made it to an action figure from the film.
Oh, okay.
He was an annoying character, anyways. All of those were Tunnel Rat, Jinx, Big Lob were really freaking annoying characters in that
Mm.
film. They were terrible, but the figures were okay. Like the Tunnel Rat, it's a cool figure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice looking carded figure, but I didn't care for them when I saw them in the film. Or Chuckles on the in the Raw Sunbow.
Mm.
Stupid character.
Hasbro had to release some licenses. How much money have they
They
lost
lost it,
at this
yeah,
point?
and that's a shame.
Oh yeah.
And didn't
Okay.
have to. Didn't have to. Check out Show Kasugi movies. He's great. Even Jackie Chan was in one of them when he was little.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'll look up that name.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I watch Tubi a lot, and Tubi has a lot of kung fu movies and anime, and a lot of the 70s, 80s, and 90s cartoon, and some early 2000
Mm-hmm.
cartoons. And I like going back and watching them and seeing, some, especially the ones that I've never heard of, and they have a lot. Might get Super Set
From
Dungeons
what
and
I've
Dragons.
heard, the ones doing the best with those right now is NECA.
Oh, the Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons.
but I don't have any. But Clutch is Clutch in the cartoon. I don't think so. There's a
Mhm.
lot of them that were never done, especially like playset figures, figures that came with vehicles. Some of them were never done, or if you did see them, um, they were in the Sun Bowl like once or twice. But there's figures that were never done. There's a lot of Cobra uniforms that were never done. They could get it going. Occam says, "Do you buy some modern stuff like the Conan figure? I figure with your love of GI Joe, some unproduced Ara O rings would be a buy for you. Why are you holding off?"
Just curious.
Yeah, I don't want to get pulled down a rabbit hole with that stuff. I really don't because I'm kind of a completist at heart, and even with like that's why I stopped getting the classifieds. I started getting some classifieds. Nearly 100 have been produced now, including the variants.
Hmm.
Nearly 100. It's too much too soon. A lot of these toy lines have produced already more figures than were produced in the original line. Black Series Star Wars has made more figures than Kenner ever made. All of these lines are because they'll keep cranking them out and they'll make them in different colors and they'll do this and that.
Christmas,
And then
Easter.
this is a store exclusive here and this is a convention exclusive, and then you can't track them down. I
Yeah.
couldn't find them, and I just got sick of it, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know what, I don't even want them now.
And I think that's what it turned me off.
Yeah.
When I was buying a lot of the newer figures, you had store exclusives. You couldn't find them when they were supposed to be out. And that really turned me off. And then you have all of these different companies doing the same figure. Back when we were growing up, one company made those figures. One company did GI
Yeah.
Joe. One company did Thundercats. One company did this. One for every toy line. One company made it, so you only had one choice. Now you got like all of these different people, and it's
Making the
like,
same things.
yeah, and then it's not like, okay, we got 5 people making Ninja Turtles and they're making 5 different
No,
characters.
they're all
They're
going to make the
all making
same
the
character.
exact
And
same
that's a good
character.
point too, because how many companies are doing Ninja Turtles right now?
Yeah.
Too many to even count.
At least the Masters of the Universe kind of reeled itself in a little bit. Thundercats, only one person is making it right now, and that's Super 7.
True.
So that's good. So if you want Super 7, and I like them, and I've always liked them because they sell their stuff, the Big Bad Toy Store and to Entertainment Earth, or you can buy it directly from them. But it's not going to be store exclusives all over the place, and it's supposed to be in stores on the 17th, and now we're 3 months later and you still can't find it.
And No Gunshine says the best Super 7s were the Filmation
I
Masters.
like those. Yeah, I got everything Super 7.
And again, they were making stuff that hadn't been done.
Yeah,
and that's what you want, because it's like if another series decides to make Masters of the Universe, guess what? They're going to start with He-Man and Skeletor. If another series decides to make Thundercats, they're going to start with Lion-O.
Yeah,
it's always the same figures. Look at even G.I. Joe. Everybody's got a piece of the G.I. Joe license now. And who do they start with? Oh, gee, how about Snake Eyes? It's the same ones.
Yeah.
It's like, give me a break.
We were at a yard sale a few years back, and this guy had a ton of DVDs, and they were martial arts. And I think they were supposed to be what, $1 or $2 a piece. Then it was, by the time, he was like, oh, we're just selling for what, 25 cents a piece.
Yeah.
And it was like a ton of martial arts film, a lot of Jackie Chan and some other stuff, and we got them.
There was a Jackie Chan box set.
Yeah,
it has like, I don't know how many films on it, but I mean, that was a quarter too.
Yeah,
he didn't care, because he was like, oh, who has a DVD player anymore? I mean,
yeah, the mama asked who has a DVD, like we do, because they watch everything. And they were saying, yeah, we stream everything is online.
So. Yeah, that's why if anything ever happens to that stream, you'll be sitting there in the dark.
Yeah, yeah, because something happened to the internet, so now you don't have the internet for 6 months, so you can't watch your little Netflix shows.
Or they decided you have to pay for it now, and then you can't get that particular movie anymore.
Yeah, just like they did with Falcon Crest. Oh my God, I was so crushed when I went to watch Falcon Crest on Tuesday, and now you have to pay for it. So you know what? I won't pay for it. I just won't watch it. Oh well, no. I don't know what Lance gonna do.
That's why it helps to have physical media.
I
never could let that go.
I sure wish I had it on DVD now, because I'll be watching Falcon Crest come Tuesday. Is a Legend. Pray for Death is really good. Okay. 9 Deaths of
the Ninja. 5 Fingers of Death is a really amazing one too. Stone Sour says, do you guys have active pre-orders?
I do.
Shame.
I do. I got a bunch of stuff still open at Big Bad Toy Store. I haven't added anything new to it though. Once I get these out of there, I think I'm done. There has been a few new things that's come out that I'm kind of interested in, but I haven't made a move. I doubt it if I'll make a move, because like I said, I'm changing up the way the way I collect and what I collect. So I'm not sure the direction that I'm going in right now.
And then
David
says crossovers. Yeah, like Transformers, My Little Pony, which they actually did.
Yeah.
And then Lainey says here that I'm with you. I had to drop out of classifieds, way too many.
Yeah.
And Munin said it's bad enough you can't find most classified figures in the stores around you even carry them. Then you pay for the ones you want only to see them turn up at Ollie's. Yeah.
That's what hurts more than anything else, because I remember like some of the Masters of the Universe Origins, I only wanted the vehicles, and I looked and looked and looked, and God, when Panther and what's his name, Battle Cat came out, you couldn't find it for nothing at Walmart. And then I finally got them on eBay at a halfway decent price. Then suddenly 1 million of them turned up at Walmart, and they're literally still on the shelf. And if you go to Ollie's, they're there even cheaper than what they are at Walmart.
Yeah.
And I think that hurt more than not being able to find it.
And William says he thinks
Yeah.
being a completist is relative. His idea of complete collection is having everything I want, not everything ever made.
Yeah. I'm with you,
Yeah.
William.
And Robert wants to know what's your next show that you're going to? Well, the next one is the Toy Lanta, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's coming up in
Is it Toy Lanta or
what?
Joe Lanta?
Toyland is coming up in what, like 2 weeks or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be filming that. And Occam says they bought Nacelle Sectars Stellara
Mm.
scales perfectly with the vintage Sectars. Shocked neither of you got into the line or Visionaries. Yeah, I'll get I would look out for the original ones. I have some carded Visionaries,
Yeah.
but I just don't want the new stuff. I just can't get into it. Uh, is it forbidden to have garage sales and so on? I don't see any more Craigslist. I don't see ads on bulletin boards and grocery stores. Everything disappeared.
They have garage sales out here.
Yeah,
They just don't
some
advertise it
some
really.
counties charge you now. They make you
Hmm.
buy a They make you buy a license or get a permit. And Ogunshai, what do you folks think about the Bandai Space Voltron and the Lion Voltron? Oh,
I don't get any
Bandai doing
Voltron.
Voltron now too. I know that the Voltron store, because we showed a mini jumbo Mushinder
Hmm.
from the Voltron store, um, like a couple of weeks back on the weekly roundup. I don't know about Bandai doing the Voltron though. I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm switching what I collect. I'm kind of pausing. I'm not gonna really collect anything new unless it's like okay, like I just started collecting Conan the Adventurer. I got that. I have some open lines that I want to kind of complete, and when I say complete, just get the main characters. Like I have uh what's that thing called? Captain Planet. I don't have every figure. I have enough. And I'm fine. The area that it's in is full. So no more fits there. So I'm not getting any more. And really that's how I collect. So a lot of things like my Batman, the area that I have Batman in is full. I can't put any more there. So I don't get any more Batman. Unless I
Yeah,
see one that I don't have that's ultra cheap. Um I need two more Defenders of the Earth, and then that'll be complete. I don't have vehicles, and I'm fine with that. I'm pretty much done with my Masters of the Universe because the stuff that I would need now is so expensive. I'm not willing to pay any the money for it.
hmm,
If I found it ultra cheap in the package,
yeah,
I would get it. I'm not going to trim down. I don't get rid of anything. I just won't really get anything new unless I saw something that unless I saw something was just like blow me out of the water. Yeah. So that's where I am.
And Robert wants to know if I'm still hunting in humanoids. I still need to, but
Yeah.
they're just so expensive.
Yeah.
Ultimately, and again, if I could find a good deal, I consider it, but otherwise, I can't just go out and
Oh yeah,
buy it.
Toxic Crusaders. See, I would love the Toxic Crusaders, the
Hmm.
vintage ones. They're too expensive, so I would get the one from Super 7.
Yeah,
And that's like something like I want to get those, but like right now I'm kind of on pause. So I don't know. But then if I go to a show because Super 7 don't really hold its value and I saw it cheap, I would get it. So that's where I am with my collecting. I just want to do something else kind of, but I don't want to. I'm not getting rid of nothing. I don't get rid of stuff. Marvel Legends don't seem to sell like they used to. A lot of toy lines don't sell
yeah,
like they used to. Several of my local stores stopped. Wow, they just quit carrying them all together.
yeah. And then Raccoon saying that about Ollie's.
Got rid of the GI Joes, and that's right before Christmas. But all the Eternals, Wakanda, and Marvel Legends are still there,
Stacked
stacked to the
to the
ceiling.
ceiling, and there you go. And William said, "How do you like your Origins Talon fighter?"
Oh yeah, Somebody on here was telling me that it was $25
Walmart.
at Walmart, and that was last week. And I actually went to Walmart this week. I wasn't looking for it, but I saw it, and it was 20. They dropped it down to $25 because it was 42. Then it went to 30, 34, 35, and then they dropped it down again to 25. So I actually got it. Um, Hey, yeah, I like it. I don't take it out of the box.
The
So,
other thing also, as far as like me being a completist, is because I don't like going down the rabbit hole of modern lines because you don't know when the hell they're going to end.
yeah, they
With
never quit.
with this stuff, there's an end to it. The product people, I need one. Whatever was made, and there's no extra. Nowadays, you don't know when the hell it's going to stop.
Mm-mm.
You don't know when it's going to stop, and you
No.
don't want to get pulled down that rabbit hole.
You can use a hair dryer and warm it up.
Yeah, sometimes the hair dryer will dry that off.
Yeah, it'll loosen that glue up and then it'll just kind of lift off.
There are fluids that you can use like Goo Gone and stuff like that, but it might leave a stain.
Yeah,
So it's
so
something
got to
to
be
consider.
careful with
But yeah,
that.
you just have to be really careful.
It's like you did with the Muppets.
Muppets and Archie, yeah.
I thought you did your
Well, I had
humanoids.
shown them before in a short, but I mean, I
Oh,
got to like I said, I need two. I'm missing two from that line.
yeah. Yeah, they're not going to be cheap again. They're just what it is.
What you got at this point is it. Catching MIB seal figures is officially a costly task now and a real win if you stumble on one. It
Yeah.
depends, because remember we had that whole video, 80s action figure lines that are cheaper than the modern ones.
Mm-hmm.
I did one for 70s, 80s, and 90s, and there's the big boys on the block are always expensive, like GI Joe, Masters of the Universe, Thundercats.
Yeah.
If you're looking for stuff like that, Transformers, it's going to be expensive. But there's plenty of other toy lines that are not so expensive that you can collect that are equally as impressive, like the Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the complete Chuck Norris line. I don't think any of the figures in it cost more than $50.
Mm.
And that's an 80s toy line. And it's 10 figures in one vehicle and you're done.
Yeah. As the Shadow was like that.
Yeah, the early 90s, the Shadow.
Yeah.
Very inexpensive figures.
Conan the Adventurers like that. Swamp Thing. I got the whole Swamp Thing. And some of the play sets were expensive, and that wasn't even expensive. You could get everything for under $50, and the carded figures were 20 and below.
Yeah.
So they're out there. You just gotta look. But the 90s stuff is starting to go up.
Occam wants to know if I ever use the water bath with calcium peroxide on comics.
Whoa.
It works, makes them look new, the Golden Age books especially. No, I do not like that practice. And
With water, you mean put them in the water?
you use peroxide,
Oh.
a peroxide finish. That the problem with that is the
Mm.
faded the color, the discoloration will return over time.
Ooh.
Number one. Number two, it also makes the paper brittle.
Ooh.
And that's what they don't tell you when they do that. So yeah, that's something I would watch
But
out
peroxide does fade stuff.
for. Yeah. It also has a whitening effect.
Yeah,
But
that's why you brush
I
your
have
teeth with.
I have spot cleaned with a peroxide solution on white, like if there's a water stain or or foxing, it'll lighten that out a little bit, but you don't want to use much at all. It's like a 20% to water ratio,
Mm-hmm.
and you brush it on and then dry it off and then do the regular dry cleaning process.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as bathing it in peroxide, no, not, because it's kind of a cheat.
I would think that the water and the peroxide would cause the ink to and the color to run.
No,
It doesn't.
but it'll, like I
I'll be
said,
scared. Wet my book
it'll
up.
brighten it, but it's a cheat because that color will fade. So I mean, if you had a book and you got it lightened and then you slabbed it 2-3 years down the line, it's
Mhm.
going to start yellowing again, and then
Mm.
it's not that great anymore anyway. And
Yeah.
then again, it makes the paper brittle, and brittle paper is a huge problem for comic books. Yeah,
I guess
you
if
know,
it's graded, it doesn't matter because you ain't gonna look at it anyway. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Yeah, I've seen collectors on YouTube. He can keep up with modern toy lines, and he got a lot of money to do all
David,
that.
yeah. Or he's
Mhm.
getting them for free to do reviews.
Yeah.
Robert says he saw an amazing review on a Mezco Shadow. Very nice. Mezco caught cool Dick Tracy figures. Yeah, they look good.
Mm-hmm.
They look good.
90s toys and comics are
That's
technically
true.
they are.
They are now.
Even 2000 because that's 24 years ago.
Yeah, anything that's older, 20 years,
Yeah.
and is vintage, and anything over 100 is antique.
Hmm.
So there you are. And there we are. And with that, I guess we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. We've been on for over 2.5 hours. We did our unboxing already.
We did that in the
we
first
did
30
we
minutes.
for almost we had it wrapped up in the first hour, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we just like to sit and talk anyway, so that part
Shoot
don't
the
matter.
breeze with everybody
Mhm.
who was
Had some good
able to join
conversation.
us here today. So
Yeah.
hope you all got something out of that. Special thanks to Stone Sour.
Yay!
Made a donation to the
You got to
channel.
get that clap noise.
Oh, that hooray!
Yeah.
So yeah, there you are. Much appreciated. We'll try to do this again sometime soon. We'll do some other theme
Yes,
if we
we are
get the
very
chance.
vintage.
Yeah, we're vintage, all right.
Do you agree we are the last gen?
It
I
could
think
be.
so.
It could be. You never know.
I think
Yeah,
so.
it could be.
Yay! Thank you.
But
Thank you
again,
again, son. Sour.
hope everybody got something out of it. Hope you enjoyed it, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll see you again sometime soon.
All right.